Good afternoon, everyone. Jeff Bestall and the Hills Footy Media Team bidding you welcome as we return to Hahndorf Oval for today's Core the Wild and the Hills Football League Round 8 Division 1 A-grade clash between the hosting Magpies and the Onka Valley Bulldogs. Wonderful to have you once again join our worldwide stream, made possible by those wonderful broadcast partners, Sports Interactive, Dartfish, Jarrett, Nissan, Mortgage Choice, Adelaide Star Buses, Business Plaza and Chris Shaw Accounting. Well, as mentioned, we're again perched above the Hahndorf Oval, set for the rematch of last season's grand finalists, Hahndorf and Onka Valley, both again likely to have a big say in the upcoming final series. And, well, can the Doggies extend their winning run to 5 straight wins, or will the Magpies race to a 42nd successive victory? All will be decided shortly. But as we said, as we move around Hills Football League venues, it's always great to come across some of the past champions, and certainly this guy certainly fits the bill for sure, and wonderful to be joined by, well, as I said, one of the great champions of the past. Has a little bit of vested interest here at the Hahndorf Football Club, but John Roberts, thanks for joining us on the Call to Wild.
Thanks for the invite.
Brilliant. So, firstly, we just go back to, 283 games over 4 different clubs, 2 different competitions, 9 times a leading goal kicker, John. So, certainly, knew how to play the game, I'd suggest.
Yes, I played for 15 years, so I got a hang of how to play the game after that time. So,
yeah.
Out of 3 years in the country as well. So,
oh, okay. So I go back to the start. 1974, I think, was your first game for the mighty Woodville Peckers. How'd that come about to be with Woodville?
Yeah, well, I played Colts the year before under 17s, and we'd won the premiership. Phil Malin and myself came up into the A's as 17-year-olds under Greg Baru.
Yeah, Greg Brio, yeah.
Brio, sorry.
Yeah.
And he was giving the kids a chance. So I got a half dozen games that year as a full forward, and then found myself playing full back the next year for the next 3 or 4 years, with the odd sprinkling at centre forward or full forward.
Okay, now John McGuinness, I think, took Greg Brio, and he did the 1 year. Unfortunately, no longer with us. That's very sad to go. Johnny McGuinness, and then, of course, Big Barry Lurch Goodingham came along a bit later at the end.
I loved old Barry Goodingham, Lurch, and he's still kicking, believe it or not.
Is that right?
Yeah, he put me on the ball in '79, so he holds a special place in my heart. And,
yeah, we'll just get into that in a minute. About 79, special year for you. But a lot of people watching this, the younger people, won't realise you have a record that will never, ever be broken now, John. 16 goals, 3 in a game for Woodville against Centrals at Football Park, and of course no longer being used for matches. So, you probably know that will never be beaten.
Yeah, can't be beaten. It's not there anymore, really.
Well, that's right.
I was playing full back, as I said, and I was getting sore in the foot. I was kicking out that many times. We were getting beaten quite a lot around that time. And anyway, Johnny McGuinness said, I'll give you a run at full forward. And 2 games later, I kicked the 16. And,
Unbelievable. 16-3, mate.
Yeah, and 2 out on the full.
Well, I recollect how many, I think playing Central, I think they had Billy Cochran at the time, who might have been the state full-back.
You researched well, he was a state full-back, yep. And then they put Peter Bytheen on me, who also played state as a ruckman. So, yeah.
Obviously, you're getting silver service from up the ground, though?
Oh, it's just one of those days. Everything worked and everything stuck, and I generally kicked straight, so that was good.
Well, 16-3, pretty good return. Now, as you said, 79, Barry Goodingham comes over, the former North Melbourne Premiership player, the big lurch. First occasion, Woodville make the finals, elimination final, but also, as you said, you played on the ball because won the best and fairest, John.
Yep, so Phil Mail and myself ruck roved, and we wrestled off a half-forward flank, so I got the best of both worlds. Yeah, unfortunately, Ralphie Sewell got injured in a fire brigade game the week before the final, and then Phil Malin got knocked out in the first.
Yes, he did, Danny Jenkins. So it set up nicely.
Yeah, so everything went wrong for us, and we got well beaten in our elimination final, and that, in fact, was my first and only final for 13 years. So,
is that right?
Yeah,
until later on, which we'll get to. Yeah. Okay, so 1980, you move across to the then South Melbourne Football Club. How'd that come about, John?
I think Barry Goodingham had played at South Melbourne.
He did
previously,
it, yeah.
And I think he was pushing the barrow a bit. I think he told
so
the
you
guys.
had a bit of talent, yeah.
And then South Melbourne were looking for more of a forward pocket than a full forward to complement Tony Morwood. And they wanted someone to take a high mark, and so they approached me, and I ended up going there.
Now, 2 years, 3 years you're there, but 280 and 81, leading goal kicker, John. So certainly showed your prowess as a forward in all sorts of competition. But a bit of research for you, mate. 67 goals in 1980 was the highest amount of goals kicked by a Swans player since Bob Pratt back in 1939, the great Bob Pratt who holds the record. So, endeared yourself. And then that 67 goals stood until Warwick Kappa betted it in 1986. So,
He was in the under-19s, I think, when I was playing.
Yeah.
But I endeared myself before that because I kicked the winning goal after the siren in my first game.
Really? That's how good's this guy from South Australia?
It's funny, I was on the ABC the other week. It's only been done 4 times in history, they tell me. So
what's that?
On debut, kicking the winning goal.
On debut? Wow, fantastic.
There you go.
All right, 1980, also All-Australian that year, John. Played for South Australia in the carnival held in Adelaide.
So that was, we didn't make the finals in 1980 with South Melbourne, so pretty much had a month off.
Really?
Back in Adelaide.
So you're in pretty good nick for the national carnival.
Really very good. I remember the last quarter against Victoria. We had a chance to win. I had nothing. I was flat as a tack. I couldn't give them anything to try and get us across the line. Anyway,
You're on the Call of the Wild this afternoon. Hills Footy Media coming to you from Hahndorf and being joined by one of the greats of the game, John Roberts. So, John, pretty tumultuous time when you're there at South Melbourne because obviously during 1981, the idea comes to play the Swans to play in Sydney, play their home games. What do you tell us about that? Because I believe there was factional groups who didn't want them to go, etc., etc.
That's right. So at the end of 1981, the VFL was pushing for South Melbourne to go to Sydney to become the Sydney Swans because they were financially crippled, basically. And so then there was a Keep South at South movement that wanted to keep South Melbourne in Melbourne. So we had actually 2 coaches. We had Rick Quaid appointed as the Sydney Swans coach and John Rantel appointed as the South Melbourne coach. So Maxie Jones and myself both went back to Adelaide. So this is a circus. There's nothing's going to come of this. Anyway, it got sorted out and we both went back to Melbourne and we would fly up every second Sunday to Sydney to play.
So all the home games?
Our home games were on a Sunday, nationally televised, and then we'd stay up in Sydney on the Sunday night and come back on the Monday.
Would have been all right, wouldn't it?
Times, Unfortunately, I tore a muscle in my foot that year. Only played 7 games.
That was the year actually the Swans South Melbourne did actually win the Escort Cup night series.
Yes,
actually.
they did. Because I said I missed that. I was injured, so unfortunate.
And of course, the first couple of years, the great Ian Stewart was the coach. Is that right?
Triple Brownlow medalist.
Did you learn a lot from him? Or?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, he knew a lot about his footy, obviously.
Yeah.
He was good.
Okay, so 1983, you decided to come back here to Adelaide, link up again with Woodville because Blighty had come in.
Blighty had come back, and I thought, Blighty was my idol.
Yeah.
I came back. That soon changed.
Righto.
Yeah, he was trying to be Ron Barassi, and the abuse.
The Messiah.
Very hard.
Really
tough. Yeah, and
that style of
I didn't enjoy that. So
I
moved on to West Torrens next year.
Yeah, I was going to say then to Torrens for 3 years.
Yeah, and I did the same as my son's just done. Gave up the footy to join the Fire Brigade.
Yep.
Lukey's joining in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, well done.
So I stopped midway through my 3rd season.
Okay. You'd still were good enough to win the goal kicking there, though?
Yeah, well, we went.
So Glenn Elliott, Paul Weston, correct?
Yeah, Paul Weston was the coach in '86,
So tell us about, as you said, you'd given up for work, and so then you were coaxed back to North Adelaide.
Yeah.
Correct?
My good old Woodville under-17s teammate, Michael Flynn, was heavily
involved
with
Mickey Flynn,
North Adelaide, and he approached me because I'd never really found the true story out with Granville Ditch, whether he got recruited by West Torrens.
Moved on.
I think that North decided that they weren't going to win a flag with Granville.
Yeah. He could play, but sort of his habits. Character.
He was a bit of a character, So anyway, they talked me out of retirement. It didn't take much because, they'd played 2 grand finals.
Yeah.
I come out of retirement and played in the Premiership.
Unsuccessfully though, John. So 1987, they would have been hell-bent under Mickey Noon as a reverse, and certainly in that grand final, they just ran all over the base, didn't they?
Yeah, I won it by a mile. And I was packing it because I didn't want to play Glenelg because they'd beaten North in the previous 2 years.
Yeah, of course.
But the rest of the team, they were hell-bent. They wanted to play Glenelg.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so 5 in the 5 straight in the big one?
That's right.
And 111 for the season.
Yeah, 111, so
So it was a big year for North Adelaide, wasn't it? I think Jars won the medal.
Yep, so we got all 3.
Leading goal kicker, Kenny Farmer. which was great. A North player winning the Ken Farmer medal.
Yeah, so we had plenty of cause for celebration after '87.
Yeah, absolutely. So then you did play the next year.
Yeah. So in '88, I think there was a bit of a letdown all through the club because they'd finally won that
they'd
flag.
climbed the mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't make the finals. We petered out right near the end of the season and didn't make it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So then, as far as this NFL football, that was it.
That was it.
At
Yeah,
the ripe old age of 32, mate, you probably had a few more left in you. But
I probably could have played one more year, I reckon, but I just felt that the time was right. So yeah.
Is that when you went to the country? Or?
Yeah, I went and played 1 year up at Jervois and then 2 years under Daryl Schimmelbush up at Kapunda.
Okay.
I enjoyed that. That was good fun.
Yeah.
Roving, so that was all right. I love
Did,
that.
now, you probably follow the modern game, as we all do. Just amazes me, these professional footballers, high paid, how they miss goals from 30 metres out in front. With yourself being such a great goal kicker, did you have a set sort of training drill that you went through it on training nights, etc.?
Funny enough,
50 shots a goal or something? Or?
Funny enough, I don't think I was ever a really good kick for goal until late in my career. And Mickey Noonan pulled me aside. I was in my premiership year. He pulled me aside when I had a bit of the stutters with kicking a few points, and he said, "Look, you can kick end to end with a mate. Most players can, and not miss the target." He said, "Just walk in and have your shots for goal if you're within 40 metres." And so I just walked in and got back on track. And I got Lukey doing that when he was having a bit of trouble. He kicked 18 goals straight.
Really?
And in the second semi, I think it was, he missed one.
Yeah.
And Smithy sent the runner out and said, "Go and bloody run in when you have a shot for goal." And he started kicking points again.
Now, of course, you're a life member of the Woodville West Torrens Football Club. What was your thoughts on the amalgamation process, having played for both clubs, but obviously an old pecker back in the days? But thoughts on that?
Well, I've got to say, I didn't understand why Woodville wanted to merge. I know Bill Sanders was behind it and pushed it, but I mean, West Torrens was broke, and Woodville was financially pretty good, and actually half successful on the field as well.
Yeah,
so I never understood it. I would have voted against it, but I wasn't involved with the club at the time. So what will be, and what's happened's happened. So
So you still follow Woodville?
Well,
or West Torrens?
it's hard. Well, I probably have more connection with North Adelaide.
Yeah, of course.
Seem to have more friends now from North Adelaide days, but I can't really follow them. I'd rather come up here and watch the boys play. So
which is fantastic.
Makes it pretty difficult. So mate, when the boys pack it in, I'll probably go back down and watch a little bit more of the SANFL.
Yeah. Now, getting on the boys, as I said, having the three of them play, it must have been great. And also a couple of years ago, no doubt you were there when they won that first flag together. And of course, Big Daniel, the hero in the last quarter, there, mate, turned the clock back, Johnny Roberts style, with the big leaps. His hair's a bit shorter though, but big leaps and those goals in that last quarter, and to have the three of them playing together in that premiership.
Matt was unbelievable that day. Daniel in the last quarter, those 2 marks and 2 goals. Lukey played well. I had a tear in the eye. I can't lie. It was unbelievable. Yeah, no, great. And they being bottom the year before and really, they looked like a lost club.
Yeah, didn't they? Yeah.
Bang, come out and won it.
A lot of people sort of don't remember that, John. That fact you said in 2014 they actually bottom of the pile, and here they are on the run of such a great success. So it hasn't always been that way that they've been the main.
Daniel and Dylan Matson and a few others. Of course, they got Darcy. And the juniors getting a little bit older has just propelled them into the premiership phase, and when they should have really won 5 in a row. One that got away from them. There was anyway. That's another story.
So watching them go through the paces, mate, they are a pretty good combination, aren't they, for a country footy side?
Oh, they're amazing. I mean, I went and watched them beat Payneham Norwood, who won the Div 1 Amateur League last year. And got up on the death knell. But that gives you an idea of where they're at. I think we talked before that they're probably one of the best clubs outside the SANFL, if not the best, with a lineup. You look at that team now. There's not a weakness there, really.
The great thing about it, John, I think apart from, say, Michael Hamby, Cheney, they're all local products. Obviously, your boys coming through.
They're the only 3 recruits.
Which is great for the club, junior development, isn't it?
Yeah, they've all grown up together and they've all come back. Having those Jaron Mail and Tom Babbage and Trent and Hoppy come back this year, all former locals. So that's just made them a complete unit, I reckon.
Now, I've got to ask you, mate, being such a champion goal kicker and your kicking action, everything, obviously the sons didn't listen to you all the time when you were teaching them how to kick in the backyard.
Well, Luke was the only one that really asked for the help, and we had him going beautifully. As I said, the coach ran out and sent the message to change back to your old style, and anyway, that was the end of him.
And Matt's got that really unique style of the ball actually hitting crossways when it strikes on the boot.
Yeah, well, he's never been a goal kicker either, so
So out of the three of them, if your life depended on it to kick the winning goal, you'd back Lukey?
You'd go for Luke, but you'd be nervous.
Hey, earlier, John, we talked about your career in the various clubs. Coaches, obviously, you played on a few great ones, as you mentioned. Ian Stewart, great, and Mickey Noonan, of course.
Yep.
They all obviously left a bit on you, and
Yep.
obviously there was a couple that didn't really impress you.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, I think of those coaches, I reckon Mickey Noonan was by far the best. He could read your mind. You know, he'd sit down and talk to you, and he knew basically, he's like the wife, knew what you're thinking. So he was really good. And as I say, he taught me a few little tricks of the trade late in my career, and yeah, they're very handy. Very, very good coach.
It was probably fantastic for you, as you said, towards the end of your career to have some success, because let's face it, you did play in a few sides that were lacking for the poor old Woodville in the earlier days, but built towards something. There must have been a bit of euphoria when they finally cracked it for that final, that first time.
Well, as I've gone to North Adelaide my second last year, I was 30 when I went there, and I'm playing in a good side. I said, how long's this been going on? I've been playing 13 years, plugging away, and get into a team with the Jarmans and Daryl Hart and Sims and the like, kicking the ball to you. Life's very easy, really.
So, as you said, just the one flag in your career?
Yeah, one flag. I only ever played in 3 finals, 2 in 1987 and 1 in 79.
So do you feel a bit envious of the boys when you look at this, where they're in this great era of the Hahndorf Footy Club?
I'm rapt for them. No, not envious.
No, rapt for them.
Absolutely thrilled. So I hope they can keep going for a bit longer yet. I mean, Daniel's getting towards the end of his career, but I think he's keen to play next year.
Yeah, still a very influential ruckman, mate. Obviously got his leap off his dad, eh?
He is.
And of course, it must have been a proud moment for you too when he actually played for Woodville West Torrens.
Yes,
league football.
Yes, I had to spend my time between watching Daniel and the boys. Then Daniel at St. Peter's, of course, he won 3 best and fairest. He won 3 flags. So, but they were all at different grounds, so I had to rush off, watch Daniel, or watch the boys here.
Yep.
So with Trent Shortland and myself, we finally got Daniel back so we could all stay at the same ground.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, mate, and prediction for today?
You can't go past Hahndorf, but I don't know if it'll be a big win. In these conditions, probably lower scoring game, but you never know. So,
it's a funny game, footy.
Going for 42, aren't they?
You're 42, that's right.
Yeah,
but, when you look at footy, mate, you've travelled a few paths in your way, and certainly, as I said, been absolute. Do you look back? I know you're a modest man, but you look back and think, geez, that was a pretty good career.
Well, actually, when I look back, it didn't seem that great at the time.
Yeah, of course.
Back, it does stack up pretty well, I guess.
And of course, as you said, still saving the city, running into burning houses.
Oh, yes.
And as you mentioned, great to see that Lukey's actually scored.
Yeah. So Lukey will join, and I'll probably retire. So I reckon next year will be.
Now you mentioned before about Zip Zap Sewer, and of course a few other guys. Would have had a pretty. Would you have made the fire brigade team of the century?
Who knows? They had
absolutely
had a lot of great footballers.
I know they used to play in that Anzac thing against the defence mob.
I reckon we had 5 in our premiership side that were fireys, and there's 2 or 3 from West Torrens, and Woodville of course had Ralphie and Maxie Parker and Ken Crane and Rod Kirst. So there was plenty.
Easy to see what you blokes were doing in between jobs, just kicking the footy around the back of the fire station. But anyway.
Right.
All right, John, absolutely fantastic, mate, for you to join us here in Hills Footy Media, and it's great to see, we've spoken to Michael Aish and Neville Roberts and other times, and they're saying how good it is to be involved with community football and watch it. So,
and what a wonderful club Hahndorf's been, and for the boys too. We got Matt as a life member already, and the other 2 should clock up life membership next year. So, very proud of that.
All right, John.
No worries.
Pleasure. Thanks for joining us here on HFL Media as we'll cross down. To Shane Collins. And good afternoon to you, Shane.
Check 1, 2, boys. You got me down there. Yeah, it's good to be here today at Hahndorf Oval. It's fair to say the the lovely Adelaide Hills and the rest of the state's copped a flogging this week with weather, and Hahndorf Oval is no different. It is quite patchy though. There's plenty of areas here that there is a bit of dry footing. When I say dry, it's stable, but there's plenty of areas here too where there's a lot of mud and very patchy area. I won't go down there, but the centre half forward position at the Hahndorf end of the oval is probably the worst part of the ground. It is very muddy down there. There's a lot of loose surface, and the ball will just be stuck in the mud, if you like, down there. So really looking forward to today's game. Conditions are going to test both teams. You know, Hahndorf, well, what more can you say? They've just been unbelievable for the last few years of the competition, this year being no different. The loss of Darcy Horrigan hasn't hurt them at all. They've been a machine, and they're doing a wonderful job under their coach in Matt Golding, who's done a fantastic job with them. So yeah, you would expect them to win today. I know Onkas have been last week, and they got up in the last basically kick of the day and got the win. But this is a massive test for them today. Still a few injuries in the club at Onkas, so it'll be interesting to see how they combat that. A couple of young players back in the side today. Last week's hero, Lockie Peter, missing today, did a hamstring, but Will Cowling back to the side today, who was injured the other week when we did Nan and Onka Nan. So the young fella's back into the side. So yeah, they've got a couple of injuries and a couple of changes, but you know, really looking forward to see how the Hahndorf machine executes here today. And you would expect, and I would think that they would run out winners, but I'm really looking forward. These sort of conditions do bring other teams into games. It's a lot about attitude in these sort of conditions and work rate, so that will work in Onka's favour as long as they can actually bring it to the game. So as I said, it's quite much patches right here in front of the Dreammaker. This is one of the bog holes, if you like. This is quite muddy. Lucky I've got the Mack truck boots here today, so that should get me out. And a lovely addition to the Hahndorf Oval here as we go to the goal square is looking after the great goal umpires is we've got the carpet laid out. So this is a fantastic addition to Hills football. This is what we're about in this competition, is we're always looking after our umpires, and our goal umpire's got the safest feet in the house here because he's got the carpet there to look after him. So conditions are testy. The rain is now coming down. It has been spasmodic all day. Rain for 10 minutes, sun for half an hour, rain again. So I would expect that's what the afternoon will bring us. So anyway, boys, that's a bit of a preview. Same umpires as we had last week, so they follow on the Dreammaker around as well, which is fantastic. And yeah, we'll see how today's game goes. So I'll cross back to you boys in the Dreammaker, and I'll see you there shortly to dry out.
Good on you, Shane Collins. Lovely to see him out there battling the weather. Goldie, as we say good afternoon to you, mate.
Yes, as the rain just picks up a bit here, Pistols, great to be here. Grand final rematch. Let's see how the Dogs go today against Hahndorf, who are looking for 42 wins in a row. We've enjoyed our time here at Hahndorf Oval with the Magpies. They've won the last 3 by over 100 points. Of course, last time was against Nambrema United. Prior to that was Uradla, and prior to that was Lobethal. So let's see how the Dogs go against the Magpies today. Hahndorf kicking up towards the tennis court or the clubroom end here in the first term. Just having a look at their forward line to start off with. Got Cooper Nykamp down here, Nick Ingram, Jacob Leake, Jaron Mail, Ben Salt and Tom Babbage. So that's the Magpies forward line down our end. And just having a look at the Dogs defence as they come down here. Looks like Blake Fanning, Zach Kuiper, and just try and get the other players as they turn around. You've
got
here.
Matty Dean,
Noah
yep. Bell, young Noah Bell. Zach Jordan's back after a big hit last week, and Ben Jeffries in the back six there for the Doggies.
Now, what's going on here, Collar? You're the boundary rider. Should be out there as the heavens have certainly opened up here for the opening bounce. But good to have you in the Dreammaker. We're away. Umpire Hill fits the ball up. Cheryl wins the first tap down. Coming through hard there was Kusira. Ball coughed up. Finally, they go forward through the agency of Webber. Ball fed out there. Already the heavy looks like to be a heavy conditions here this afternoon. Ball up high. Chipiana under it. Got his hands to it. Sport there by Mail. Ball comes out there finally with Webber. Tucks up the line there. Bouncing ball. Scrambled up there in that boggy patch area. Finally a clearing kick away. Looked like it was Jets. High kick. Up high there was Shell. Feeds the ball out here. Finally Greenslade. A little snap around the corner. Oh, Magpie spot each other there. But backing up there once again was Jents. I think gets a kick away. Bouncing ball. Shell and Roberts bypasses both of them. Oh, good pick up there. Parker Bowes, a high kick, holds up in the wind, as you can probably see. Captain was Matty Dean with the fist for the Dogs, back down at ground level. And once again, the umpire will come in, and I think for the first of the afternoon goal, there'll be a few ball-ups.
Yep, and I'll get the weather forecast, Pistols. Last time we were here at 6 degrees. Near Onka's interchange bench. Understandably, they're all in the dugout today. And umpires today, we'll just let you know, Andrew Lawless, Nathan Hall doing the umpiring, Hayden Napstein and Fletcher Squires and Brady Judd doing the boundary, and Raymond Mollier and Anthony Mayle doing goal umpiring. So Daniel Roberts in the ruck against Shoal. Daniel Roberts flicks it out. Chipiana's around it, and he's set upon in a tackle. There for the Magpies was Troy Parker Bowes. So ball... moving slightly towards the Magpies scoring end, going up towards us in the dream make area. Sam Williams manages to get a snap towards centre half forward. Might be a downfield free kick. It is going to Magpies. So Ben Salt keen to move it on quickly. He's got Cooper Niekamp one-on-one, and a good mark there by Niekamp out in front, and he'll have the opening shot of the game, round 8, Hills Football League Division 1 from Hahndorf Oval. We've gone 2 minutes.
So Niekamp 13 for the season. Actually, with the departure of Darcy, Hurrigan was thought maybe be the main man in the attack, because Tommy Babbage with 22 leads. So Niekamp, deliberate shot. I think it's pulled a little bit wide as the umpire moved too much. But opening score of the game at the 2.5 minute mark of the first term is a minor one to Hahndorf. So it'll be Ben Jeffries.
5.9 degrees in Hahndorf.
Feels like about 3. So Jeffries runs out the square and goes long. So it'll be the target, fisted away there by Roberts, bouncing ball, Eckerman and also Trent Mayle. Mayle the first to get there, Mungs one back forward, Dean got his hands to it, fumble there, picked up by Jarrett Mayle, proven goal kicker, but on this occasion he's missed it all and actually nearly lands on the decking up here. Well, populated decking today, boys, because it's Sponsors Day here at Hahndorf, so good crowd in the house. I noticed there before, and the great man Richard Hill was holding court at the dinner luncheon they had inside, telling a few stories, and what a great side the Magpies had under him. And certainly the current Magpies are living up to the tradition set by Hilly. Ball out wide, good leap by Shell. Eventually took it on the chest, leapt for a high mark, but took that one on the chest. So Daniel Shell, exciting machine. He is in the aerial duels, goes long. Pat Gavers, big sleep was there over his head. Looks like Roberts in there, Perling it was, sorry. Comes close to the chip. Finally got a quick clearing kick away there by Vines, but to the back pocket taken by a man, Kai Cheney.
So Cheney switches play out towards his counterpart in Matthew Yench, or teammate, obviously, and pop up the line, finds Braden Hopgood. He goes up the wing. Target here is Nick Ingram. Coming across is Dean. Good mark there by Ingram. Is he looking in board? Opts to go probably down towards the half-forward lane. He's got Babbage here. He'll go against a couple of Dogs. Dropping back there was Kuiper. Good work cutting the ball off.
Bell.
And it's held up there by Noah Bell. Half-forward line for Hahndorf.
Yeah, interesting start to the game here. The effort's been good by Onka Valley, but you can see there Onka's kick into the forward entry. Cheney dropped off beautifully and done it well, so Onkas can't let that happen.
So, ball taken here by Sinnott. Sinnott goes wide, down here looking for the lead of a teammate, got his hands to it.
Coccioloni.
Look, it was our man Coccioloni. Meanwhile, ball goes to ground, held in there by Leake, I think it is. So, now Shane, I was just wondering the mindset of the Dogs the week leading up to this game.
Yeah, well, as I said, with these conditions, it's just about effort, isn't it? You've got to have the right effort and make sure that you come and really want the contest. And, you know, what are we? We're only 4 minutes in, but the contest has been good.
Terry Sleep snaps the ball forward. Yench handballs out to Cheney. He goes with a short pop-up pass and finds Hopgood.
So Hopgood and the orange boots already standing out in the dimming light. Puts it out wide to favour Perling, but unfortunately the ball bouncing out over the boundary line. So we'll have a ruck throw in as they gather. So Academy boy pitches it up high. Daniel Roberts double-handed down in front of him. In there, looks like it was Webber. Dispossessed, got it out to Greenslade. High kick towards the goal front. Hahndorf defence there working overtime as usual. Cheney will lead in the race for the ball. Front of the scoreboard. Gets around an opponent there, then flicks a handball at the line to Yench. Go back to teammate there, up the line, but intercepted mark there. Looks like it's Timmy Webber. Wastes no time. Gets it across to Jeffries, who's drifted into the forward half of the ground.
Jeffries kicks it towards, well, he's found an opposition player there, and Hayden are on the Magpies on the counter-attack. Kick towards the outer side wing. Nykamp cleverly slaps the ball to himself. That was brilliant. Handballs over the top towards Hayden, who set up this play. Goes to Sam Williams. He's got Salt on here in the pocket against Kuiper, and that's a lovely kick. And Dogs look like they're moving forward there, Colo, but it's down the other end of the ground.
Yeah, well done by Nykamp. Just too smart for Blake Fanning there on the outer half-forward flank there. Blake should have held his ground a little bit better, but Nykamp too smart. Good run from the back half there. Hayden was the one who won the footy across half-back, and he beat all the Onkas players to his forward line, so and a great execution and finish to find Salt on the chest.
We've seen Hahndorf a couple of times this year, boys, but Salt really hasn't got amongst them as far as the goals go, certainly with the possessions, but I tell you what, not a bad-looking kick off the boot, but just drifts the minor side of the post.
One of their genuine stars. He is a young player who's going to have a great future here at the club.
So just ticking up the 7 minutes here on the Core of the Wild, coming to you this afternoon from Hahndorf Oval, and it's the Magpies 2 behind, so the Onkas get on the board. So took them 8 minutes, if I record the game against Jarrett that we had here, so maybe they're setting a new record for before their first goal. Kick out comes, pack flies, nearly a good mate there, flicks out the back here, taken by Maucho, curls around the corner to the comb-over man. Can he grab it? Yes, on the second occasion.
Hanby.
Lifts the eyes as Hanby ran into space, and as Shane Collins said, that's precision football once again, and lifted the eyes and honoured the lead of the teammate there in Hanby. So Michael Hanby
Kicked 3 goals last time
we saw him
in
he was
the
on
wet.
fire, yeah.
This isn't actually too tough a shot. The pockets here aren't overly deep, so he should have a good look at it here.
He's a thumping kick.
Of course, past South Adelaide skipper. Of course, involved with North Adelaide, sets it as a coach, I think at one stage. Shane puts it across, once again off hands from Fanning through for a minor score. So 3 behind Hahndorf, lead Onkas yet to score. 7, nearly 8 minutes gone here on Call the Wild.
So Jeffries to bring the ball in for the Dogs, just wiping the ball there. 2 points Hahndorf, as Pistol said. Onkas yet to score. Jeffries kicks outside the defensive 50. Cheney in the best position here. Good spoil there by Scholl. Put the fist in. Coming is Carissa, who was great last week. Umpire was about to call boundary throw in. There he is now. So boundary throw in.
Just one thing, an observation, boys. Why are we not using a yellow footy today?
Very good point, Shane, on winter conditions, and it's just got a little bit soggier in the drain around on the Yench wind.
I can definitely spot the runner.
Absolutely.
In the high vis.
So, throw in. Daniel Roberts to the front. Ball flicked out the side first to get to Carissa, taps to his veins and left it for a teammate, and they coughed it up here as Hahndorf through the agency. Jens kicks it back out towards Salt, got his hands
That's a
to
good
it.
battle.
Spoil, good battle there. Finally comes out the back door to Hanby. Thought about the kick, got it out here to Parker Boz. Unfortunately, his handball to
good call, Goldie. Young Kuiper and Salt, 2 of the young guys that'll, I'm sure in 10 years' time, probably still be playing on each other.
Oh, bit of feeling here, George Stanton, Parker Boz. That's good to see. Dogs not holding back yet.
Good to see, as Shane said, of course, grand final rematch. So Roberts, Shell. Roberts got it down. Grabbed there by Damien Green, curls one around the corner, and his interesting disposal by Mayo there. Eventually gets across here to Green. Green gives it a green slide down the centre corridor down here. Big Sleep got his hands to it, fumbled it out here to the Catfish Finds, gets around the corner, goes long, a wobbly kick, getting back there and taking a mark. I think it's Leak. Sorry, Maucho. Came Maucho.
Yep.
My apologies. Flips it across here to Leak, and that's a very good mark taken there by Joel Leak.
So Leak goes a handball to Cheney. Little pop-up pass, finds the Stallion, or the Goat, purling, going back near the light tower, looking up the Yench wing. Just some Hahndorf players converging now. So we'll go to probably the big man, Dan Roberts, one-on-one against Scholl. Good spoil there by Scholl, brings it to ground level. Coming through is, here's Sam Hayden. He's set upon by Coccioloni. Good work there by Webber, I think it is. Sweeping handball out to Mayo. He goes back to Hayden. Good pressure early in this one. Cheney fisted on cleverly. Scholl good pick up. Set upon by Maucho though. Hot and heavy footy early. Madsen's wrapped up by a couple of Dogs near the boundary line.
I tell you what, Shane Collins, the intensity that Onkas are bringing to this contest compared to last week during the first term is poles apart.
Yeah, the effort's been better. I must say in the early game even the effort was better. So I think the boys did have a solid week on the track even though the conditions weren't great. So they just got to bring it for 2 hours.
Oh, Cheney, one-hander.
Bit of a party trick for the boy from Warwick, Nabil. Sets it up high. Babbage lumbers out. Bells his opponent over the top. Good spoil down there by Kuiper it was. Goes to ground. Bell in there, trying to bundle his way through.
Babbage.
Babbage gets it out of Hamby. Well, it's set for him, bouncing ball. Chipiana gets there quicker with the little legs.
Nice.
Toe poked out the side. Nycamp's got the run of it. If he gets, he slips over. Under pressure there from Jeffries. Finally gets out in Hankin. Hankin goes back towards
Good pressure.
Madsen. Quick kick away. Bouncing ball coming to meet it's George Dent. He steadies. He's kick smother. Big Dan Roberts gets it. Can he sell a bit of candy? Gets it back to Nycamp. He slips. Bit of a comedy of errors in the conditions. It's Fanning works the ball along as it's out of bounds. Taken there by
Touch play on.
Hamby. Touch ball to the top of the square. Come out. It's Babbage. Green's there also. First to get there, but they'll beat him over the line was Quasira. So comedy of errors in these conditions at the moment, boys.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is too, there's plenty of pressure. So
Absolutely.
the pressure's good from both teams, which is what you want to see. And if we can have 2 hours of that,
Yeah.
it'll be a cracking contest.
So young boundary umpire's going to bring it in just in front of us here in the Dream Maker. Forward pocket area for the Pies. Salt front position. Dogs around the action. Collected here by Vines. Bit of a blind turn, U-turn. The umpire says he's legged. So he'll go back with Babbage on the mark.
Actually, speaking to the academy boys, I noticed umpire mailed on deck this
I was
afternoon.
promoted to the goal umpiring.
Well, that's good to see.
So Andy Vines in the defensive 50. Good player last week. Collar had a chat to him after the match. Spot up pass. Over the top was Joel Leake. Picked up by Cole Cheney. Dangerous position. One-on-one. Fanning. Well, a couple of dogs there. Ground level. Cooper Nycamp ducked, but yeah.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate that one, Shane. He did
Yeah.
duck the chutney, but says if you take him high, so resultant free kick here.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but Coach Paul Tanner will be more disappointed with the outlet kick from the previous free kick. That was a poor decision, and missing a straight-up kick and giving Cheney the opportunity to intercept the footy is not what Coach Paul Tanner would want to see.
All right. So, one of the young guns in the comp, Cooper Nycamp. And he has missed as well. 3 points. Hahndorf.
It's actually a bit of breeze at this
4
end.
points, sorry. 4 points.
Kicking into the teeth of the breeze. It's a difficult shot on goal.
So, Benny Jeffries, of course, past Nord Premiership player, returned to the Dogs last year, co-captain. Of course, he's other co-captain out, Brucey Kane. We wish him all the best. Ankle reconstruct. Puts the ball out wide. Cheney there, got the ball.
Here we go.
Well read by Mayo, though. Probably could have done a lot better with that kick, Shane Collins, as he sprayed out over the boundary line. Ball slipping off the boot. So, resultant free kick will go to that man Yetch, I think it is. On
Maucho.
Maucho, sorry. Getting it back and up here to Hayden. Sammy Hayden. A couple of players were using the long sleeves this afternoon, so a little bit confusing. So, Hayden, high kick. Lumbering out his Nycamp. He's caught at the backpack. Salt was the leaper. Ball comes down there, fed out by Fanning. Gave it the shell. He's under pressure, got it to Vines. Vines, quick kick. High. Back to the wing area from which it came, and getting his hand to it was Eckerman. Forces the ball over the line for the Magpies. As we come up to 13.5 minutes gone. Hahndorf 4 behind. Lead Onka Valley yet to get on the board, Goldie.
Bit of sunshine for the time being. It's been rain and sunshine majority of the morning, early afternoon. So boundary throw in centre wing, 14 minutes gone, Hahndorf 4 points. The Dogs yet to score. Half forward line for the Dogs here. Picked up by Hayden, but he's set upon immediately in a tackle.
We might take this opportunity of
Absolutely.
bidding good afternoon and hearing a couple of stats from the boys. Jaden and Indy, good afternoon, boys.
Cheers, Pistols. Afternoon. Yes, very looking forward to be here today. Should be hopefully a good game here. It's good. The sun has finally come out, so hopefully we get a good game of footy. G'day, Indy. How you going, mate?
I'm going very well, thank you very much, Jaden. So right now, Onka's with 27 kicks and 10 handballs. They've been booting long down the corridor and sometimes a little out wide. And they haven't been
Here's
doing
a
that
chance,
too
sorry.
badly. They've got,
Okay, it's all right.
Just take a look at that.
Minor score.
It's behind.
Sorry,
but we'll keep
continue on,
going
Indy.
here. Onka's doing a pretty good job at getting first use of the ball at the moment. I just think, like last week when they were up against Blackwood, they lacked those forward targets. No marks inside 50 yet, so that's just where they've got to pick up some pace.
Good on you, boys, and looking forward to hearing you throughout the afternoon. So it looks like it'll be Jens to bring the ball back in. Onka's 1 behind, trailing Hahndorf 4 behind. 15 minutes expired in this opening term. Call the Wild. Trust you enjoying us. Get on board, Goldie. Hillsfooty.com.
Oh, yeah, hillsfooty.com and
Let us know where you are.
Hills Football League Facebook page. Get involved. Let us know. I think we're streaming, well, internationally today. I'll chat with Dallas at quarter time. Let you know further on that.
Wow, I hope you're enjoying the game over there in
He's
Beijing.
been brilliant. He's been brilliant early.
George Dent races, runs the gauntlet, got across the big Terry Sleep, goes bang towards the top of the goal square, getting back there. Magpie defence bring the ball to ground. Oh, ridden into ground there was a Dogs player. Could that be? No, Mayo. No, said the umpire, as we said, umpire Lawless and Nathan Hall, who we saw last week. So ball up some 20 metres out from Hahndorf goal, taken clearing kick away there by Leek, I think it was. High kick. Umpire once again was
Here's a go.
Kuiper. Here's a chance once again for Webber's been busy.
Lovely kick.
Lovely spots up the lead there
nice.
from Riley Sinnott. So good delivery there, Shane Collins.
Yeah, the efforts have been good. The contest has been great between both sides, but Onkas just haven't been able to threaten on the scoreboard. Effort's good, but it doesn't get you score. So here's their first opportunity to really put one away. So it'll be a good reward for that early effort.
So good to see the mail during the week was that Dr. Webber might be on call, but obviously...
Yeah, he's had to work really hard to get time off work.
Yeah.
He does an amazing job. Just remembering, obviously, with salary cap, there's no player payments this year either, so great.
His fifth. Riley Sinnott's 5th goal for the year, and good start from the Dogs. Early players who are catching your eye for the Dogs early, Colo.
Yeah, well, the effort's been great around the ball. Webber and Greenslade have been good. Damien Green's had a few touches there. Dan Scholl's been excellent. So that midfield battle's going to be one to watch. You know, a couple of boys. Blake Fanning's got his work cut out deep here. Nykamp's been good for Hahndorf. But if the pressure can stay up through the midfield and they can give Onka's backs a chance to be in a contest like we seen Zach Jordan a minute ago, they'll give himself an even chance.
So the sun is out here at Pine Avenue for the moment. The rain has baited. So back in the centre umpire hall. High toss. Roberts won the tap down, taken away by Webber. As said, been busy already. Bouncing ball sits in the mud now. Locked up there. Looks like it's kicking in danger. Free kick, I think it was. So go back there. Go back to Cheney. So Cole Cheney.
Yep.
High on the Yench wing area. Big Terry lumbers out. Oh, big fly in front. A very good mark taken there by Troy Parker Bowles. Been pretty active in the games we've called this afternoon. Sets it up the wing area. Bell. Good defensive fist over the line. Hankin tried to keep it in with a kick around, but no, the Academy boy right on the spot said it was over line. So a ball in will take place, as we said, coming up to 18 minutes. Doggies, nose in front. 1-1 lead, Hahndorf 4 behinds.
Ben Jeffries very vocal here, clapping the Dogs. Good start by them. 1 goal, 1. Hahndorf 4 points. Daniel Roberts decisively. Zach George got a few touches early. Click cut off by Braden Hopgood. Managed one kick inside 50. Forward spoiled there by Leek. Great come. Hankin goes to Mail. Tries to go back to Hankin. It's cut off here. Jeffries goes over to the top to the chip. Under pressure from Hopgood. Managed to get a kick away towards the wing. And that's a good mark there by Sinnott, who kicked the last goal of the match. Well, the first goal of the match.
Sinnott nurses up the wing. Just tie over Bilby. But the
Here's a
Bilby
chance.
backs up here. Goes to ground, no. Keep your feet, lady, in these conditions.
Yeah, he just needed the Spriggs to engage there and keep his feet, and he would have been off.
And we talk about this wonderful era for Hahndorf at the moment, but Onkas have probably such of one of the best records by the opposition clubs here, boys. They actually won in 2016 and also in 2017 against the Magpies. So rare success in what's been a dominant period for the Magpies. Ball bouncing.
Great tap.
Oh, was that a high tackle applied there by Jag Cornish? Umpire lets it fly though. Cornish at ground level, scrapping for the ball, and in the end.
Colo, if we remember last year's grand final in that third term, the Dogs were right in it, even early parts of the fourth quarter. So they've certainly, got that competitive spirit early in this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a few. They're a football club that have improved, and they've got a lot of young players. And I'd suspect in 3 to 5 years they're probably going to be at their best. But they're making those inroads, and unfortunately for them at the moment, there's a team in this competition that's absolutely outstanding, and full credit to the Pies. They're an era like they're putting together. They should be very proud, but it's unfortunate timing for Onkas and a lot of other clubs in the HFL.
Well,
free kick,
Onkas like a deja vu for Onkas, because back in the 70s when they had a great lineup, but they had another side called Heathfield Orgate who used to just dominate them. They won 87 in a row. So, free kick, high ball towards the half-forward line, big fist there, bouncing ball. Onkas there, indirect decision there. Carissa picked it up, got to Webber, who somehow got a clearing kick, bouncing ball out in the solid wing area. Coming to me, it was Eckerman. Oh, great gather there for the Dogs. I think it's Matty Dean.
Yeah, it's
Mayo.
Mayo, sorry.
Good contest by all players.
So a stoppage, 20 minutes gone. The Dogs, 1 goal, 1. Hahndorf 4 points. Goal kicker so far is Sinnott. It's a good game of football. Remember, Hahndorf have won 41 matches in a row. The Dogs coming into this one, I think they've won the last 4. Is that right?
You have, yes.
Yep. So they're in good form as well. Storming home last week against Blackwood with a 6 goal, 7 final quarter. So good matchup on paper, and the Dogs are doing well early. Daniel Roberts could have been holding the ball, grabbed it out of the ruck. Umpire didn't see it that way. And it looks like it's going to be held up centre wing out of side. 21 minutes gone. Hahndorf 4 points. The Dogs 1-1, kicking towards the Pine Avenue end, first term.
So, Yench wing area. Umpire Hall puts it up. Pie leaper with Shell wins the tapping ball down towards the youngster in Pake. Looks like his first run of the afternoon. Looks relatively clean at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I think the Catfish has just gone for a quick break. But just another interesting match-up today. Young Mitch Cocciolone's got the job on Kyle Cheney, so it'll be a great learning curve for him as well on that half-forward flank.
Absolutely. So Daniel Roberts in front, flicked the ball down. Parker Boyle's toe poked it through. Good attack on the ball by the chip. Should draw a free kick. Umpire.
Oh, here we go. I know.
Well,
That's either going to be a free kick for too high or a free kick for taking your legs out. But
absolutely.
we only had this chat today with a couple of people about...
Oh, he's picked it out. Here we go, Colo. He's gone now.
Yeah. Anyway, over the top first to get there'll be Benny Jeffries. In the meantime, I know the whistle's gone again from umpire Hall.
He's a duck now. He's a duck. He's doing the duck moves, the umpire. Beautiful.
Well, and Madsen didn't even know whose free kick it was actually his. So Dylan Madsen, the reigning male medalist, of course, the skipper of the Pies.
Babbage calling for it long here.
Half-forward flank, but he goes up the
it goes
line.
to
Oh,
Hankin.
Hankin, it fell in his hands. He spilled it. Here's the Chipiano, who's a bit unlucky a minute ago. Ball bounces out here. Good handball by Parker Bosgate. The Williams he's dispossessed, but managed to finally get it out to Hayden. Hayden will give the chance for the Crow to get a goal. No, he, as well caught by Gold, he just lifted the eyes and saw Jarrett Mail loose. So Mail with an opportunity, 13 for the season. Goldie, we've seen him
I think
regularly.
he kicked 5 against Lobethal, maybe 4 against Uradler.
Yeah, so proven goal kicker, and we've seen him kick it from this spot previously. So heading towards the netball court and tennis court end to the ground.
Back at the club this year after, I think he best on ground in the 2015 grand final.
And the left footer
Lovely. Yep.
has drilled it straight through the middle. So Hahndorf finally get their first goal of the match at the 22-minute mark.
I think his dad would be happy with that behind the goals.
Yes, he would indeed. Could have been over the top of the putt. No, we won't say that. But, good kick by Jarrett Miles. Hahndorf 1-4, Dogs are 1-1, and the call to wild.
Yeah, it was fantastic work by Sam Williams there in traffic. He got a really good left-handed handball there, cleared the area, and player like Kyle Cheney only needs a couple of metres to find a target, and he did. So good work by Williams. He set that goal up.
All right, back in the middle, Dan Roberts against Scholl, and he's also been against Terry Sleep. Good matter in the middle. Webber won that one, kicks it towards, grubbers it towards half-forward line. Ball still in the middle of the ground. Sam Williams around the action, and so's Webber. And as the ball is held up near the cricket pitch area, 24-minute mark. 1 goal for Hahndorf. Onka's 1 goal 1. Interesting stats coming up at quarter time from the lads, that's for sure. Williams grabbed it from Roberts, intercepted by Andy Vines. This is a good kick, inside 50. Dogs numbers there. What can they do? Bilby's lurking as well at ground level. And it's held in, importantly, inside 50 for the Dogs. So they've got an opportunity here from a stoppage.
Now, you just mentioned the ruck, Jules, Daniel Roberts. I tell you what, he could be the most important component of this Hahndorf side because he's virtually carrying the rucks on the own. But interesting to see Matthew Roberts.
Oh, Andy Vines! Oh, no. Sorry, Pistols.
All right, interesting to see Matthew Roberts playing the reserves today. So watching his progress as a possible backup for his brother, Goldie. As you called a minor score there. The Dogs, they go to 1-2, trailing Hahndorf 1-4 here in the Calderwell first term. So kick out there from Yench. High ball out towards the half-back flank area, off hands. Scrambly play, Madsen over the top there. Looks like it might be Chipiana in underneath. And the umpire will come in and ball it up once again. And down the entrance, and Goldie, and hello to Rachel, who's been on deck since 8 o'clock this morning.
Yep,
in
introducing everyone as they come in.
Absolutely.
So here's a chance for George Dent. He's been great in the first term, and that's a lovely kick. And what's he called? Don't know about that.
He's played a free kick.
I'll have a look at the replay here. Wow. Dogs looking good though. Early, they're really holding it here. It hasn't just been for a few minutes; it's been the entire quarter, and that's out of bounds on the full. So, game on, quarter time.
Wow.
Hahndorf 1 goal 4, the Dogs 1 goal 2. And we might have a kick on the siren here for Carissa.
Carissa to do a blighty here
In the wet. Wayne Coop style.
That'd be a drop kick.
Oh, he's got onto it. I tell you
above,
what. Oh, he's got a point out of it. Has he?
No,
he
they just kept it from going over the line. But that's not a bad effort.
That's not a
by
bad effort
Carissa.
in the wet.
So, quarter time game on here, boys. And I must say, from a Hahndorf perspective, this is probably one of the closest score lines I've had this season. They're 1-4. And a very gallant, brave Onka Valley as Shane Collins departs for the middle of the ground. 1-2. So the goal kickers, Sinot raised the first, got the 16-minute mark, and Jarrett Mail.
Just a weather update, Pistols. 5.5 degrees.
Wow.
It's lower than the Adelaide game, so there's a stat to get us underway.
Is that...
It's 5.5 degrees in Hahndorf. Even though we get a bit of sun out, it's 5.5 according to the weather forecast. We've got to go by the stats, don't we?
Absolutely. When you said the Adelaide game, I was thinking, Heathfield today should be a little bit warm over there.
3.2.
At the foot of Mount Lofty over at Heathfield Oval. But entertaining opening term, that's for sure, boys. And the Hahndorf boys, they're just splitting up into their individual lines as we speak. So game on. So we might go down and see how the first term panned out as far as the stats go. Once again, Jordan and Indy, take it away, boys.
Cheers, Jeff. Here we go. So 41 kicks there for Hahndorf, 23 handballs. Indy?
Well, it's a game that's earned its really close margin at the moment. 41 kicks apiece, 16 handballs to 23, which isn't much of a difference at this stage. 16 tackles to 19 in favour of Hahndorf too. The only stat they're really dominating in at the moment, the Magpies, is marking. 16 marks to just 7 for Onkas in that quarter. 7 of those marks were contested as well, so they've done better in the air at the moment for wet weather football, which, based on the skill set we know of Hahndorf, isn't surprising at this point. But Onkas have been good from centre clearances, didn't concede a single one in that quarter and got 3 on their own terms. Even hit-out stats as well, 12 apiece. So it's an even game. It deserves to be an even game. I just think Onkas need those targets up forward. Otherwise, they're not going to get enough firepower on the scoreboard. We saw that last week. They broke the game open in the last quarter. They're going to need something reminiscent of that to break this game open in their favour.
And we've also, so Hahndorf has had only a 41 percentage inside 50. So they've had 12 entries and only 5 conversions. So 41%, not too great at the moment. And also, it's their lowest first quarter score since round 9 2019 against Lobethal, where they scored 3 points. So it's Hahndorf's lowest first quarter score. I'll just run through some head-to-head stats as well. So 25 times these two sides have met since 2010, and Hahndorf has won 16 to Onkas 9. Head-to-head in minor rounds, so Hahndorf 13 to Onkas 8, and also head-to-head at Hahndorf 8 to Onkas 2. So Onkas haven't won at Hahndorf since round 16 in 2014. So there's some stats for you, Pistols.
Good on you, Jaden and Indy. And now we go down to our man venturing through the centre of the ground, Shane Collins.
We're quite interesting there at the break. Onkas coach Tanner was very positive, telling his boys he just asked for effort, and they brought that, which was great. He did say about him just playing a little bit more in front, playing a bit more consistent, and they will get some free kicks from doing that, just playing a little bit from behind. At the Hahndorf huddle, once again, as we expect, actually Matty Golding's got the footy boots on today. He might have just thought they might have been a bit short, he might run out there, but just to make sure he doesn't fall over in the slot. But he was very methodical in talking about structures. Just asked them to remain calm, hold to their structures, get a little bit more one-on-one away from the ball. And he said, you know, if they can do that, they'll break Onkas open. So really looking forward to see how the second quarter pans out. Still a bit of breeze heading to the Hahndorf end of the ground. Still very muddy. So back to you boys in the Dream, mate.
Thank you very much, sir. The Colo, astute and insightful as always. Goldie, as we go quickly round the grounds, quarter time here on the Quarter Wild Mount Barker, 2 goals, leading Nan Bremer 1-2. Believe the Royal Reserves was 1-3 to 6 points, Winter Nan, so might be a bit heavy going up the road. And Blackwood 6 goals straight, leader Chunga 3 points.
Temperature 5.5 degrees.
So second quarter underway here at Pine Avenue. Daniel Roberts gets the tap down, bouncing ball. Taken finally by Chipiana, gets the first kick of the term, bouncing ball out here, the target. Overrun there by Mayo. Ball comes back here.
Hopgood.
Good Carissa, pressure. Good tackle. Comes back to Moucho, but in the meantime, looks like the ball was over the boundary line. So we'll have a boundary throw in the Yench wing area. So just repeating, Mount Barker 2 straight, lead Nan Bremer 1-2. Blackwood 6 goal, Ledia Chunga 3 points.
So boundary throw in, centre wing, Yench side of the ground. Ball's fumbling around. Webber's around the contest, as he often is. Got the handball out to a teammate. Back to Webber. Scholl, cleverly, over the top. found a teammate here in Dean. Shrugs the tackle nicely. Kicks it towards the half-forward line. Here's young Cowling. Good to see him back after the hit against Nan. Cheney, clearing kick out of defence. Parker balls 1, 2, 3. Couldn't take it. Ball hits the deck. Dogs doing well early. Mouchout. Underground handball to Hankin. Hamby ducks the chutney, manages to get a handball away cleverly to Hopgood. Kicks it towards the half-forward line, but it's under pressure. Jaron Mayles down there, coming out at full pelt with Noah Bell. Cleverly sockets it towards the boundary line. Picked up by Hayden. Good second effort by Bell. He's going at it again. Puts Babbage off his kick, and that's gone out towards the forward pocket area, and it's gone out of bound.
Great second effort there, Shane Collin. Noah Bell. Just his run, his chase, and just, as you said, the pressure Onkas are bringing to the table today is far better than last week.
It's just the energy which Coach Tanner's asked for, and they're bringing that, but they just got to get some execution stuff right now.
So, inside 50 here, Pistols.
Yeah, so between centre half forward and full forward area here for Hahndorf in attack. Pine Avenue end of the ground. As the sun seems to have just slipped behind the cloud for a little bit. Let's hope it reappears, just warming up, as we said, what, 5.5
degrees. Let me just check that again.
Nice to see when Colo come back, had the
Yeah,
icicles
5.5
hanging
degrees,
there from the nostrils, Shane. Must be a little bit cold out there,
Good zoom
mate.
lens there. Just an interesting thing here in play, rather than Dan Scholl go and do the ruck work in the back half, Coach Paul Tanner has got him staying out of the play, making sure Roberts is not free.
And as we spoke about things deteriorating with the rain, it's just started ever so light here, but hopefully it doesn't get to the heavy stages we've had earlier in the day. Ball comes down here.
Clever handball from Webber.
Yeah, clearing kick away for the Dogs out towards the coaching box area. Trapped there by Hopgood, but he's carried across the line. And a boundary throw-in will result half-forward flank area. So Hahndorf 1-4 lead, Onkas 1-2. That was a score at quarter time. We're 3 minutes into the second term here on the Core. The Wild trust you enjoying worldwide coverage. Ball comes over the back, hacked forward by Parker Boz. Cover there for the Dogs. Go backwards, I think it's Matty Dean with a clearing kick, bouncing out towards side. Ball just stops in the mud.
Carissa, nice.
Well done by Carissa, soccer style. Was he
held on as well.
And held on. I think it was Jens maybe, grabbed him and peated him, so the free kick to go to Carissa, who was so good last week, especially in that third quarter. I thought kept the Dogs in the game there last week, Shane. So Carissa, wall of players ahead of him, so just chips it up the line. Daniel Roberts gets his hand to it, ball comes down. Also looks like Madsen playing the ball in front of him, finally gathers it. He's locked up in the tackle. Got it out there, good interception by the Dogs. Ball back in the pack situation. Locked up there, I think it was Webber. And the umpire will come in and bowl it up.
So ball up, 4 minutes gone. Neither side have added to their quarter time score.
Ooh.
And a bit of a hit there in the middle of the ground. Sam Hayden involved. 4 minutes gone. Sounding like we're in the Arctic here. The wind coming. Meantime, back in the middle of the ground, Daniel Roberts won that one. Clearing kick from Carissa out towards the half-forward line, gathered by Cheney, but he's under pressure. Oh, Cocciolone just slipped slightly. Kicks towards the half-forward line. Salt put up the mitts. Good work here by Matt Dean. Managed to get a kick away up the line. Oh, Yench!
Oh.
Is that Yench? Oh, yeah, backing back there. Took a mark with Cocciolone around the action. So Yench will kick the ball inside 50 for the Pies. 2-on-2 contest, floating over the top. Here's a chance for Babbage at the back of the bus. Handballs over the top unselfishly to Jaron Mail. Oh, good smother there by the Dogs player.
Jordan.
George Denton. He's been good early.
Yeah, fantastic effort there.
5 minutes gone. Hahndorf 1-4. Onkas 1-2, and there'll be a boundary throw in just near the scoreboard.
Certainly not conceding. The Dogs all over the ground, and there on the last line defence. A great smother by Zach Georgent. So, scoreboard pocket throw in. Ball comes down there, legging to Sinot. Stacks on the mill. Boggy part of the ground. So, overall, not too bad, boys, when you consider the rain we've had, but just starting to look a little bit torn up here, but still a few patches where the ball was actually clearly bouncing. This area where we're at the moment is not, and locked in there. So, once again, the umpire will come in and ball up. Forecast there, Goldie?
Still 5.5, but I think it's dropped a bit here.
I think you're right.
In the
Tempted
last few
soccer
minutes.
forward by Greenslade. Dogs grab there for the Magpies. I think it might be actually Yench under there.
Got the dedicated photographer down there. Got the umbrella.
Paul McDonald. Oh, the Hahndorf variety,
Yep.
sorry. So, ball up. Ball comes down there. Finally taken by Hamby. Got
Here's
the
a
quick
chance.
hands there to Parker Boz.
There we go.
He loves it as soon as he kicked it. Raises the fist, the Cobra. So, Hahndorf. Good work there by Hamby to get it out to him. And finished off nicely by Troy Parker Boz for the second goal. Hahndorf. They're 2-4. Doggies are 1-2.
Yeah, just the strength of the big fellas at stoppages. We said before about Williams, he got their first goal. Well, their second goal's been done exactly the same from Hamby. So well done to them. Parker Bowles has started fantastic. He's playing really well and finishes off his early work with a good goal.
So back in the middle, looks like Sam Hayden, Daniel Roberts, Leake, Madsen, Scholes in there. I think Mayo as well. Johnny Greenslade and Green. Green, good use of the body against Madsen. Got the handball out towards Greenslade. Kick inside 50. Oh, good cut off. That was brilliant by Webber against Cheney. And holds the ball inside 50.
Picked his pocket there, Shane Collins. Brilliantly.
It's just amazing. I've been watching Cheney. It's wherever he stands, the ball just gets him. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
He stands outside his opponent. It goes to the outside. He stands inside. It goes inside.
Ball magnet.
Wonderful player.
And Mayo tried to force his way through Bilby, taken by Yates, gets a high kick out of the pack, back towards the centre of the ground. Hankin lurking. Attempted to smother there by Babbage, didn't pay off. Going to ground there is Mayo, I think.
Yeah, we just spoke before about
a little bit of push and shove in
the
there.
Strength at stoppages, and Hahndorf have been excellent.
Yep.
Onka's, the Easter Bunny Bilby just needed to be better then. He just wasn't quite strong enough at that stoppage.
So umpire Paul Hall sets it up. Shell with a big lead. Comes to Chipiana, tries to work his way through, but he's collared by a couple of dogs, magpies rather. And
That's a good matchup. The two number 11s, Sinot and Eckerman, in forward line here for the Dogs.
So umpire Hall sets up again. Roberts, Shell. Roberts got it down. Ball fed out here. Attempted clearance. Once again, it's held in there at ground level. Hayden working in there.
Yeah, it's a good call about the 11s here. Riley Sinot played half back last week, first time this year, and was best on ground. But with the Lockie Peter going down, Riley's had to go forward again. So just a bit of bad luck for Coach Paul Tanner that he couldn't leave Sinot across half back.
Good boy, Shell. He got the tap. It was intercepted there by Leake. I think it was the Jacob variety. Ball held to him. So once again, the umpire will come in and ball up. So a string of ball ups here at the moment. Roberts up high, got the ball down, taken by the chip. He runs into a brick wall. He has been good. It was good last week. And once again, another ball up, Goldie.
2-4 Hahndorf. The Dogs well and truly in this one. 1-2, 8 minutes gone. Just one goal so far in this quarter to Hahndorf. Madsen got a clearing kick inside 50. Collected here by Bell. And it's held inside 50. By the Pies there. We know what Hahndorf are capable of, putting the foot to the accelerator in the games we've seen this season. I think bursts of 7 and 8 goals in quick succession. So Dogs well and truly in it. Inside 50 for Hahndorf. Collected chip. He's done nicely. Clearing kick by Zach George Den, who's also been good. Kicks it out towards Onka's interchange bend. Taken by Trent Mail to Scott Perling. Snap round the corner. It's taken by the chip here. Just near the Dogs interchange bench. And Dingo giving the applause there from the sidelines.
So Sam Chipiana with the ball. Kicks it back up the line, the wing area. Shells the target. Salt got in front, brought the ball down.
Good tackle.
Actually, it was Leake. Ball comes out here,
Great
taken
work,
by
Cowling.
Cowling. Gave the ball to Shell. Gets a kick out here. Will it sit in the bouncy area?
Good battle this one.
Comes over. Great tap by Yetch to Cheney. He gives it back to Yetch. The Crow boys combining there now down towards the forward pocket area. Ball hits the turf and actually rolls over the boundary line in advance of Babbage. So the two former Crows combining very nicely there. Clever tap on.
Just very hard to beat when you've got class like that floating across your half-back line, and one of the very good reasons that Hahndorf are the strong club they are.
So right in front of the scoreboard, which at this time reads 2-4 Hahndorf, 1-2 the Dogs. So doubled their score 9-minute mark.
It's gone up.
Once again, pack forms in that dug-up bit of the ground, so the umpire will be forced to come in and board up. Just makes you appreciate, Shane, the hard yards we do here in the Dreammaker, when you look at the guys just slumming it out here in the open tent. Shane, where you normally would be.
Well, yeah, I've pulled the on-week straw today and sitting in here with you boys, but yeah, they do a fantastic job, our team. Of course, all volunteers. And
They should film themselves.
do a wonderful job.
Hey, just when you're out there at the quarter time, is there any noticeable breeze out there at all?
No, there is a little bit of breeze to the end that Hahndorf are kicking at the moment.
Yep.
But, with the wet ball, though, it's probably not as prevalent as it would be on a dry day.
Eckerman long kick was taken by Kuiper, who moves it across, switches across play and finds that man Chipiano, who's
heavily
knocking out the sets as you'd hear the call. Yeah, the rain's starting to come down. You might even hear it here in the Dreammaker roof. So Chipiana nurses the ball up the wing up here and finds the catfish Andy Vines tucked close to the boundary line, just up from the Dogs coaching the doghouse. And playing possession football as it's chipped up here to past Premiership player Johnny Greenslade.
Terry Sleep just taking off the jacket, so it looks like he's coming back on the ground for the Dogs. Oh, intercept here. It's around the action. It's intensifying with the rain. Chipiana got a handball out. Kicked by Bilby. Half-forward line for Hahndorf. Trent Mail, good tackle there by young
Oh.
Cowling. That's almost holding the ball, probably should be. And the umpire comes in and holds it up middle of the ground. The umpire, and the rain is certainly intensifying now.
Absolutely, and Terry Sleepy be saying,
Terry
I might put the dressing gown back on. They know those red ones like they have at Mackie.
Yeah, they're
Goldie.
sensational. They're
They
the
are.
best in the league. Those
The
Mackie,
1950 style smoking jackets that they use.
I might go get one myself.
Speaking of Mackie, it'd be a little bit brisk out there.
Yes, it is.
Then
How'd the van go this week, mate?
120-kilometre winds, we're fine. No drivers there.
Literally.
On top of the hill.
Oh, Cochiglione, a big leap comes to the Stallion. Pearling, interesting disposal
Got to
there.
hold it here. Good work.
Interesting disposal. I like to see that one by the Stallion. But anyway, blindsided the umpire.
I
So
was thinking of you the other night, Goldie, in the pouring rain, sitting in my house, thinking I wonder how to
Cochiglione doing the ruck work. Ball was one down there by Leak.
Got to hold it here.
Parker Bowles, a quick kick away up the line.
That's all right. I can reload here.
It is just short of the
Galaza
interchange
into
gate.
the action here. And a couple of Magpies in the forward line here.
So the ball retrieved from the
Corellas.
crossing area.
Who we got down here?
So-
Cheney's lurking, of course.
So I think it's
on his
Daniel.
own again. It's just interesting how he finds his spot, doesn't he? He does a great job.
So kick up the line, lumbering out with Cochiglione, perhaps taking high, quick handball out
Good
there.
work. That's
Chippy
high.
on, that's got to be high umpire,
Okay, here we
yes.
go. Cowling's lurking here
So
against
Chipiana
Mau Chow.
be beyond his distance, that's for sure. In his
Mayo's
conditions,
on.
but
Can't go long because he's got Cheney and Yench hanging, waiting.
so
He's
can
gonna-
they work it
Oh,
out? He goes wide out here. Cochiglione's the target.
Oh, ground level.
Carissa
Gotta
was
hold it.
there. Oh, attempted a kick out by Hankin. Could have been a
Oh,
bit
that's
sus.
composure.
Comes
Oh,
it
no.
back here to Mountcho.
Oh,
good
great
attack by
work, Carissa.
Doesn't have it.
Hankin got it out finally.
Oh,
Quick kick
straight
away
into
by the
someone's
Stallion.
face.
Bouncing ball. Jag Cornish will lead the lace of the ball and
Okay.
it just walks low for a try on the boundary line. So,
Doggies just need a bit of luck with a couple of those little half-free kicks they're not getting, and
yep.
they would be right back in this.
So the ruck's Gabba, be Leak. It's like Cowling doing the ruck where it grabs the ball,
Oh, nice.
flicks the handball at
Oh,
Dean.
here we go.
Finally comes out here to Greenslade. Quick
That's a
kick.
kick.
And it'll
That's-
register
oh.
a score, a minor one at that. So the Dogs' first score for the quarter. They move on to 1-3 trailing. Hahndorf 2-4 on a very wet Call of the Wild. 13 minutes gone, second term.
The balcony would be calling for the barrel here, and he goes for it. Doesn't quite
bad.
come off, and it's gone down straight around Cooper Nykamp's throat.
Just fell in his head.
So Nykamp, one kick, bang. Now they've got it to half forward line. The Pies, Salt, one-on-one contest. What can he do? He's athletic, he's skillful, goes off the ground, and that is end-to-end football. It's the best in the wet from the Pies.
That is ridiculous. Benny Salt, as we talked about how many times, said he's a dead set champion, and for such a young kid, all the skills, and well, fantastic.
Straight down the middle, over
He
the
kept
top.
his eyes on the
Nykamp.
ball if you watch the replay coming up.
Yep, out the back against Fanning here. And went off the ground with a clever soccer kick on his right.
Just a poor execution from Onkas on the kick out. I mean, the first quarter, Onkas had 4 kick outs, and every one of them went to a contest, but Hahndorf went for a torp that went nearly off the side of his boot, but still found a body. So a bit unfortunate, but yeah, well done by the Hahndorf team.
So 13-point lead, 14
go.
minutes just ticked over second term. Here's the Dogs. Can they counter back with one? Cheney in the race for the ball. Got it down here.
Here we go, here we
quick
go, here we
hands
go.
to Greenside.
Bilby.
Got out to the Bilby to the
Oh,
top of the square to
push
young
out.
Cowling. Here's a chance. Mayo comes in support. Gathers the ball. Cliff's pocket.
Oh, nice.
Handball's
Oh.
intercepted by Eckerman. Was
Okay.
that deliberate? Say the Dog fans. No, said the umpire. But good movement there by the Dogs.
Very good.
To quickly get it towards the goal face.
That's very good.
As they try 1-3 to 3-4. 14 and a half minutes gone here in the call.
Carissa's lurking out the back here.
So it'll be young Cowling to do the ruck work against another youngster in Leak. Leak got the ball down, taken by Parker Boss. Tries to bust his way through.
Oh, holding it in.
Ball
That's
goes
fine.
to the ground level. And as we said, held in there. That
Let's have a
occasion
look
it was
here.
Mayo.
A lot more Hahndorf numbers at this stoppage than Onkas players.
So Cowling, Leak. Ball comes down. Matson head over the ball. Grabs
Big
it.
body.
Fed it out to Williams. Got a kick through the pack.
Good
Got
mark,
up,
Jeffries.
Good mark done by Joffa Jeffries. Goes across. He's missed the
missed him.
target. Lynch is
Oh,
lurking.
oh, hello.
Hamby, hands and knees. Follows it up.
Oh.
Comes out of here to Mail. Trent variety. Was that dropping the ball? Grabs the ball.
Good
Got
smother.
smothered by Cornish.
He's got a player on the outside.
Got out into
good
Weber.
tackle.
He's taken high,
Oh,
yes.
Good work. That's nice. Yep.
And just a little bit of pressure here. Some few mistakes. Shane Collins coming from the Magpies.
Oh.
Quickly up the line. There's a chance for Sinnott. Great spall from behind by Leak.
Oh,
The
into the
Joel
mud there.
variety.
There we go.
So perhaps could have kept the ball a little bit lower for Sinnott there to run onto in these conditions.
Yeah, the effort's been good, just the execution, which we spoke about. But Hahndorf are executing far better when they go forward.
So inside 50 for the Dogs. What they can do here Deserve a goal. Catfish, Andy Vines, usually creative, stripped of it. What's the umpire says? Oh, holding the ball. Okay, interesting.
Perhaps could have been held on a lot longer as he got rid of it.
Silky one. What do we do here? No, goes a drop punt on that occasion. Pack forms over the back. This is dangerous now. We know what Hahndorf are like in these situations. Babbage, snap round the corner. It'll be a race now. Jarrett Mail against a couple of dogs. Picks it up nicely. Good tackle there by Jeffries. Dumped to the ground.
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball. Good work by the dogs. And they managed to stop that one.
Looks like it's coming back to the tackler.
Matty Dean.
Matty Dean
Sorry,
goes across
Dean.
the goal. I think this is in the sleeves. Zach George Dent.
A few players getting mud on the number now.
But nearly a remarkable pick up by Mar. Nearly a miracle goal, but a good tackle
out.
applied by Dean. So in the meantime, another free kick. So dogs with the ball go out wide.
Ooh.
Over the line. There, the intended target.
Yeah, it's just playing the percentages in. A Hahndorf defended really, really well. Onka's twice the ball's gone forward, and they've let the ball get over the back when they've had a ruckman and a tall at a stoppage. So they need to get that ball to the front.
So Roberts and sleep. Daniel Roberts wins the tap down. Once again, ball intercept by the Onka Valley defence. I think it was Fanning who fed the ball out there. Can it clear the pack situation? Getting involved there was Vines. Ball pushed forward. Chipiana, he has been busy in these conditions, relishing in this the chip. He's locked up though, and the ball walked over the boundary line.
Temperature's gone up, they reckon 5.8 now.
Wow. Heat wave here at Pine Avenue, I tell you what. Once again, the brass monkey population not existent here today. As ball comes in the corridor. Dangerous for the Dogs' defence.
Nice
taken
work.
there. Quick clearing kick
George
away.
Dent.
George Dent up there, and a
Great
good
mark,
mark
Johnny
in the condition
Greenside.
saved by Johnny Greenside. Of course, cut his teeth in damp conditions at Mount Barker. Of course, was on the Hills Footy Unplugged a couple of weeks ago. Drives up towards centre of the ground. Cocciolone got his hands to it and then spilled it. Good follow-up by the dog. Cocciolone once again. Also, Carissa, a strong attack there by Mao, I think it was, as he come through. In the meantime, the umpire will come in and ball it up.
Cheney just lurking here on the wing. Meantime, in the middle of the ground, Dogs trying to shovel the handball out there. Held up, cricket pitch area. Hahndorf 3-4, Onka's 1-3. Goal kickers in the match so far. Sinot 1 goal for Onka's. Jaron Mail, Parker Bowles and Salt, some goal kickers in the quarter for Hahndorf. And just leading slightly. Onka's still right in this one. Barging his way through there for the Dogs, trying to pick up the play there.
Damien Green and
as you'd expect.
Trent Mail stood his ground pretty well there. Also, Colo, it was like the two balls meeting. So once again, a ball up. Sleep. Robert Sleep got this one down, trying to bundle his way through was Matson. Through the hand.
Here we go.
Searching for a kick. Here's a chance for the Dogs now. Half forward. Mayo's a target. Ball bouncing the firm bit. Grabs it. Can he try to outplace it? Was it in the back there by Eckerman? No, well done. In the meantime, umpire has paid holding the ball. So Eckerman, good persistence there by the young Magpie defender.
Second year A grade.
So right in front of the faithful, packed under the pavilion veranda. Drives it back towards the coaching box area. Sleep at the back of the pack. Front was Roberts, got his hands to it. Ball comes in there close to the line. Finally followed up there by Big D Rob. Gets a clearing kick, but only as far as Benny Jeffries, the captain for the Dogs. He nurses up and finds Damien
nice
Green.
kick.
That's
a
better.
nice kick.
Possession football for the Dogs. Breaks on his left foot.
Oh, that's lovely.
Puts up forward towards May.
Lovely kick on the non-preferred. Brilliant kick.
And also a great mark. He held Eckerman out there, Shane Collins, and took a very good mark.
We spoke earlier about contests in this oval, and Goldie just mentioned about young Eckerman in his second year. Well, Mayo's exactly the same, so we can expect these two to enjoy this sort of match-up for a few years to come. But both quality players, and good opportunity for Mayo to get Onka's second goal on the board here.
So 9 goals for the season, Goldie.
Yep.
The Doggies, so important kick here.
Very important kick. Arguably the goal of the year last year, according to some of us. So Tom Mayo directly in front. Oh, well, okay, that's the conditions for you. Oh, here's a chance for Cowling.
Pake.
Oh, Pake, sorry.
Oh.
Still fumbling around the edge. What's he doing?
Oh.
Well, that's a minor score for Onkas.
Wow.
Is he going to go the barrel again? He's going to go the drop punt down the middle. Big pack here. Can't get over the back. Onkas bring it to ground level. Half forward line. And it's held up eventually. Oh, here's a chance. Scholl got it out. Cut off. Bell was around there. Hankin off the ground to Salt. Kick inside 50 there. I think it was Leake.
Leake, yep.
out towards the half-forward line. Here's the Pies, one-on-one contest, and the umpire says holding the ball. Free kick Dogs.
So the Dogs sticking with it, that's for sure.
and truly.
I know the conditions are heavy, but the pressure they are applying, and they're making the issue of every contest, which is good to see. So Dogs drive the ball through Fanning up the line. Ball comes to ground. Salt getting involved there. Follows it up very well with those
clever.
soccer skills. He got a goal from
Clever,
it.
here he is.
Comes back to Salt. He gets attempted handball over to
Still
a
lurking.
teammate. Still the Dogs battling up well there. Fanning getting involved.
Nice.
Finally comes out into Jeffries. He gets support.
Chip.
Chips in there.
Oh, Mayo, don't
heavy-
argue.
Oh,
That's up the front.
That's a
That's
chip.
It's Damien Green.
Green, sorry. Sorry about
Green?
that.
Just standing his ground, to be
Yeah,
fair.
no dramas there.
Green. I think it
Was it
might
Mayo?
be the chip.
Let's have a look at the replay.
It's a chip.
Nah,
No, that's gone past him.
I'll have 5 with you. $5 and dinner thanks tonight, Pistols.
Let's have a look. Or is it Weber?
Damien,
Oh,
Green, yeah,
Damien
just
Green.
sorry, yeah, the pass on.
Seafood
So
tonight.
what are you having? What are you having, Colo?
Caviar and
In
wine.
the meantime, ball with
Oh, shot.
Ingram, is
No,
it?
Minor score. Anyway, it's a minor score.
having a shot minus score for the after all that.
Jacob Leaks up anyway. Good hit there by Green. Little kick into the pocket. So the Dogs in this one, heading towards half time. 22 minutes gone. 13 points the margin. Who's this player, Dogs? Anyway,
It's Weber.
Weber, sorry.
Timmy Weber.
Kick outside of defensive 50. Big pack forms. Perling brings it to ground level near the Dogs interchange bench. Chipiana sockers it out towards Coach Dingo Tanner. And he would be relatively happy here as he head towards half time.
I was about to say a scoreline 1-4 to 3-5, Shane, but he would be happy because they made an issue of every contest here.
Looks like we got a bit of sun coming too.
Good to see Daniel Roberts flicked it down, flipping over its Handby.
Here's a go. Got to pick it
It's in
up.
the pitch area, breaking through there was Scholl doing everything, rucking and then
Good
following it
tackling.
up. Good tackle applied there by Weber, I think it is,
Yeah, Weber.
on Madsen.
Okay. Mayo and Eckerman pushing down deep here. Ball up, middle of the ground. Roberts against Scholl. Good work there by Johnny Greenslane. Very creative. Kicks it towards the half-forward line. Cheney. Oh, Cocciolone. Good work. At least cut that one off. Brings it to ground level. Dogs fighting and scrapping here. Cheney eventually gets it. Handballs out towards Ingram. Looked up.
Oh,
Chipiana
yeah.
was coming in. Greenslade dives in and holds the ball up centre wing. Interchange side of the ground.
Yep, certainly good pressure once again applied by the doggies here. As umpire umpire Hall sets
we
the
go.
ball up as the siren goes in the background. So the second term ends. Only the 2 goals scored, both by Hahndorf, but very entertaining quarter of football, Shane Collins.
Yeah, if you didn't look at the scoreboard and you just judged the game on effort, you'd nearly say Onkas are in front, but Hahndorf have just been, with their skill and their class, they've executed a couple of goals out of real good work, and a couple of them been really easy, where Onka's forward forays are really under pressure and Hahndorf's backline are just so hard to break through. But look, it's a fantastic game. It's the conditions have certainly given Onkas an even chance here, and with their effort, they just need to execute a couple more shots on goal, and they also 3 goals to Hahndorf, and one of them was from 2 silly free kicks as well. So they just need to clean that up a bit, and it's a game right on. But you can see minutes here where Hahndorf, their midfield, their body strength really shines out, and we've seen Hamby and Williams, Madsen as well. Those guys have been fantastic at the stoppages, and Onkas have done a good job to close them down, but there's still an hour of footy to go, so that's the challenge for the doggies.
So a 13-point margin here at half time. It's Shane Collins suggested.
Yeah, and the sun's out, but the rain's out at the moment. It's in the middle of everything we've had going on, but not a bad crowd here today with everything that's been on with the conditions and everything, and obviously being Sponsors Day here at Hahndorf. They've got a wonderful crowd under the pergola over there, and why wouldn't you be supporting Hahndorf at the moment? They're on an unbelievable streak and thoroughly deserve it.
Okay, what we might do is cross out to find how the stats have been from the first half. So bound to my good man Jaden Jordan J. Hill and the 500 man Indy. Take it away, boys.
Cheers, Pistols. Thanks for that one. So, yeah, 31 kicks there for Hahndorf in that quarter compared to 41 in the first quarter. 21 handballs and 11 inside 50s as well. Conversion rate is 34% for the game so far. I'll hand you over to Indy for some Onka Pringa Valley stats.
Well, I'm pretty surprised with the effort. It's been great from Onkas, but I was kind of disappointed from those recent minutes in the last quarter we just saw, because they didn't seem to convert very much in their inside 50s. They only had 8, in all fairness. Hahndorf only had 11, but it doesn't seem like they're playing wet weather football. They got 39 kicks, so they're beating Hahndorf in that stat. They've got 26 handballs, so they're also beating Hahndorf handballs as well. They've genuinely got more of the ball. It's just they don't seem to be handling it as well. I think Green, Slade and Weber, they're the players I'm tracking. They've done an outstanding job so far. As far as I'm concerned, already Greenslade's got 11 disposals, and you compare that with 13 to Tim Weber. So they've been getting a lot of touches. It's just disappointing to see that the forwards haven't been able to mark it too much. They've only got 2 marks inside 50 for the entire match right now, and they are losing the marking statistic overall, so they need to get better in that area. And also with the inside 50 conversion, it just needs to be a bit cleaner. They're playing probably a little too aerial for wet weather, in my opinion. I reckon they could pick up the pace in that area, but they need to be clean with the hands before they can be clean on the boot.
Cheers, thanks for that, Indy. So, yeah, Hahndorf kept Onkas goalless in that quarter, and it's the 8th time that Hahndorf has kept a team goalless in a quarter of footy this year. So there's a stat for you boys as well. So yeah, Hayden and Male's tackle pressure has been really good so far for Hahndorf. 3 handballs there for Male in that quarter, and a couple there for Hayden as well. And so yeah, and Onkas haven't scored more than 9 goals in a game against Hahndorf since round 16, 2017. So there's a stat for you, Pistols.
Thank you very much, boys. And as we said, the rain tumbling down here, so just make sure you keep under cover there and keep dry. Now,
So
interesting.
I've got a question for you two in here today, sitting in the van.
Yes, Shane.
Every game this year
What
it's been...
what do we want with our coffee?
No, well, how come you haven't got the heater on? Is it just because I'm sitting in here? You haven't turned the heater on?
Well-
You always... No, don't lie. You have it on every week while I'm out in the cold and the wet.
We know you're used to the cold weather, as you know, so we thought we'd make you feel at home out here. But the sun, like as Goldie's saying, looking the distance blue sky.
Looks like they've got the sunscreen out over there.
Yeah, exactly. I must say, my 5 years up there, I did like leaving home in the pouring rain and get to about Cullington and the sun would be shining. I'd have to put the sunnies on. But,
Seriously,
it's amazing how the weather patterns change in such a
Now,
short time.
Getting towards the end of August, as we know, even though it's been the shortened sprint season, finals on the horizon. It's interesting to look in the HFL publication today, some of the allocation for finals venues here. It's almost as if a few clubs, I know there's the issues with the COVID hosting, you've got to have the marshal and etc. and all the guidelines, but just some of the, when you look at the divisional assignments as far as finals, there's a couple of venues hosting multiple finals, etc. It just, what happened to the rotation system they used to have in place, Shane?
Well, we could ask a question about what happened to a lot of things with football at the moment, couldn't we? But and the world, to be honest, it's a strange place we live in. But yeah, look, it's an interesting allocation of finals.
Just for the benefit of
do
people
notice that,
listening, if you
yeah, just to read them out. So Division 1 elimination final will be held at Arkabar Oval, Heathfield. The qualifying will be at U Install at Oval, Blackwood. Then second semi at Hanson Oval, which is Mount Barker, and the first semi at Uradla. And then we lead into 2 weeks of prelim and grand final, both at Echunga. Now, I would suggest we wouldn't want a week like we've just had leading into the prelim.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we will be selling boats and oars for the prelim and the grand final. You would think there's obviously got to be a reason that the HFL have put them on 2 weeks in a row, but I'm unsure why they don't have like an elimination and then gives them 3 weeks break into the granny or something like that. But I do know some of the clubs did not apply to have finals due to the management around the COVID stuff.
all right, but
it is a
also
little bit
I
tricky.
know it's Balhanna, Loberthal, conspicuous by their absence.
Yeah, and I don't have
Manly?
the answer to those. I do know at the Onka Valley Footy Club, or we interviewed Andrew Adcock last week. He's being they've got a team of people, as all football clubs do, as committee, and he's drowning in the workload at the moment, and all these new COVID things which have to come in, and we all understand why. Has just forced a lot more pressure on football clubs to manage their football days, and I haven't spoken to him about this, but I would suggest that maybe a lot of that management planning and stuff just might have been too big a bridge for him to build. So I think that's probably why Onkas aren't on there.
And also, while you're there, if you go through the country division, also for a Shane.
Yeah, what have we got there?
Yeah, let me find it. Where is the country one? It's not even in here, Jeffrey. Where is the country? Division 2. There it is.
Sorry.
So also the women semi-finals. Don't forget, we've got Thunder Park for that tomorrow. And then next Sunday, we've got the grand final at Bowhanna Oval. There you go. Bowhanna's got a grand final. The women's grand final next Sunday.
Yes, and I think we may well be there to cover it.
Yeah, and with the country Division 2, as you said, the semi-finals will be held at Kersbrook and Birdwood. Preliminary final at Macclesfield and Birdwood. And grand final at Kersbrook, brackets, if they are not in it. So
Birdwood possibly hosting
2 weeks of finals in a row.
Well,
yes,
voice from the deep there. Birdwood. What?
Yeah.
Well, we all know Birdwood is a pretty good place to accumulate the water.
It's an interesting time, and
obviously something like Macclesfield. Obviously, maybe they didn't want to be involved.
No, exactly, and I think once again
on any
it'll be
standard
these
of
clubs,
a final.
Yeah, these clubs just with the management of the COVID stuff, it'd be a bit challenging. But maybe it's a situation where the HFL may need to take a bit more control of that and say, well, look, why don't they run a final maybe at Callington? If we're going to look, the weather patterns at the moment would suggest, we're probably going to have a bit of wet weather going forward. But maybe we need to bandy together a little bit more, and we just got to be careful of the spectacle. We would hate to think.
Well, as we've been watching on the stream there, previously showing up the River Murray League, and because Callington just down the road would seem ideal, but I do think there's a major construction going on as far as the clubhouse.
True, there is too.
So that venue, might be out of whack. I know the Raiders haven't been using it this year, so.
Yeah. I'm sure the HFL team have looked through all this and asked the clubs the questions, and there's a genuine reason why it's been put together like this. Not ideal, but hey, to be fair, 2020 has not been ideal. So I think we've just got to be happy that we're playing, and we've got to be happy that we're going to hopefully get through a final series and see some good games.
Now, an important game today, I suppose, in the concept for Onka Valley, because they still haven't really locked in that third, double chance spot, have they?
No, they haven't. The fact that them and Mount Barker had a draw early in the year sort of gives their percentage a doesn't matter factor. But yeah, Onkas, if they do happen to drop today, Mount Barker are playing Nan, so that'll be interesting to see who wins that. I know that's on Mount Barker Oval, and we talk about boats. You'd sink over there because I was there last night and it was very, very heavy. So
now, did the young under-9 doggies get the
We were
chockies
going really well until halfway through the last quarter, and then the hail absolutely bucketed down. And
pulled the pen early?
Yeah.
Yep.
So good friend of ours, Clint Rogers, coaching Mount Barker. Me and Clint looked at each other, gave each other a high five and said, that'll do. So we quickly ran off the ground and got in the cars and went home. But it was covered. So I would suggest it would be a mud bath there. But as going back to Onkas, look, they lose today and Mount Barker win. They're equal on points. There is 6% difference between those two clubs. They're the only two clubs that will care about their percentage because they had the draw. But Onkas obviously next week have Mount Lofty, which they would have to win. And I'm sorry I don't have it in front of me. Who've Mount Barker got next week? Do we know? Blackwood.
Yeah, so, Blackwood,
And Blackwood could be in a position where they have to win to make the five. So, yeah, it's really tightening up with
I'll just give you, sorry, mate, I'll just give you a half-time score. Mount Barker 4-1, Nan Bremer 1-5. So, as you said, perhaps a heavy going there. And just while we're here, because we know that he's their number one ticket holder, he's actually two sides he likes. He's jumped off the wagon today now as a resident of the town. Now he's got his other mob. But Kangaroo 5-6, leading Mackie 1-3. So Mackie could
number one Kangaroo
on the way to playing finals, Goldie.
Yeah, it hasn't been. I think the last time was Wayne Stringer.
Wow.
2008, 9, something like that.
So as you said, important for the Dogs, and they take on Mount Lofty. perhaps a bit of a traditional rival for them next
Yeah.
week, and never been a happy hunting ground for them up there at Goat Park.
No, it hasn't. And Mount Lofty have actually cleaned them up there a few times in recent years. So it'll be interesting. And Ox's just got a lot of injuries at the moment. And their list is a bit thin. And the Twos were undefeated until 3 weeks ago. They've lost 3 in a row because there's half a dozen to 8 boys playing in the ones here at the moment that would normally be there. Actually, I've got an interesting one for you, Pistols. Where there was a young player, Royce Cotter, who played for Onkas last year.
Yeah,
in
no,
the
no,
A grade,
yeah.
played a bit of B. So Royce hadn't been playing this year. He's been racing motorbikes. Royce wanted to play this week, so they got him registered. But unbeknownst to the Onka Valley Footy Club, and certainly I didn't know, because he played 3 years ago at Sturt, he has to get cleared by the Sturt Football Club, even though he played at Onkas last year. So I was bamboozled by that. So the kid was here today and unfortunately had to sit and watch because of some
So he played for
technicality.
Onkers last year.
He hasn't played for Sturt for 3 years.
Wow, you
But
just
they're
said,
saying he still needs to get a clearance from Sturt to be able to play for Onkers, even though he played all year at Onkers last year. Bamboozled? I am. I don't get it. So I'm not sure
yeah,
whether
keep a guy, kid
it's
out of
a
footy.
strange one, and I know the Onka Valley Footy Club football department are looking further into it to try and find out what that's all about, because that's a bit of a strange one. But anyway, it was a kid that was here today and wanted to play a game of footy and had to stand and watch. So very disappointing, because we want them, if they want to play,
Yeah.
we need them out there playing. Doesn't matter what club it's for.
All right, you're on the call of the Wild. Division 1 football coming to you from Hahndorf Oval this afternoon. So we'll just go around the grounds, predominantly country division scores. Kangaroo 5-6, Mackie 1-3. Gumaraka 6-3, Meadows 5-5. So
Oh,
a good
game
game
on.
out there. And
Tipped the Meadows.
yeah, you did.
yeah, you did
Come on,
indeed.
boys.
And
Come
another one of your ex-clubs, 6-6, Kersbrook, Torrens Valley, 1 goal. And in the Division 1 game that we have up the road, Mount Barker 4-1 to Nan Bremer 1-5. Meanwhile, we're back here for the start of the second
Sunny
half.
Hahndorf Oval, 6 degrees.
And it's a 13-point margin for Hahndorf as we get underway.
So, back in the middle, what can the Dogs do here? 1 goal 4. They trail Hahndorf 3 goals 5. Sunny conditions now. Still cold. Nick Hankin goes to Parker Boz. Shrugs off 2 Dogs. Kick inside 50. Picked up by the chip. He's been good. Oh, he's opts to go out of bounds on the full. Had a couple of players for the hands, but it's gone out of bounds on the full. So Nick Hankin here for Hahndorf. Of course, his brother started the season at the Pies, but he's gone back to, where's he gone? Back across the border?
Sunnier places, I'd suggest.
Nick Hankin, kick inside 50. Well, he's already inside 50. Babbage is the target. Offhands leak. Is he shoveled across the line? Well, the umpire says he is.
Called a point.
Minus score, just.
Well,
literally.
interesting here, boys, that Babbage, who's been the leading goal kicker with 22, really hasn't seen a lot of it today.
That'd satisfy a lot of Onka's boys, to be
Yes,
honest.
well, it's a worry if he does get start to get amongst them. So, Jeffries with the kick out, goes out wide towards Shell, goes over the top, finds Carissa, he goes to Granville. Good scrap work there by Parker Boz. Ball comes out there towards Hayden as well. He feeds that. Hank going to get involved. Comes to Sammy Williams. His attempt to kick was smothered. Webber looked to give it off. Locked up there. And umpire said had no prior, which I don't know about. But anyway.
Hahndorf's energy's been real good the start of this quarter.
So, free toss-up, sorry. Daniel Roberts
Oh, a big man.
flicks it down. Damien Green at ground level, locked up by Williams. Not going anywhere. So umpire Hall will come in once again and recommence proceedings as we're inside the opening 2 minutes of the second half. Roberts backhanded
Good
back,
work.
taken away by Carissa. Oh, his kick is smothered by Parker Boss. Oh, well done there by
Great work, Webber.
Webber at ground level, go to his lookalike in Green. He's dispossessing the tackle and turned the ball over through the agency of a free kick. Madsen, no, he'll hand the ball back to Trent Mail. So Trent Mail, just inside the centre square, sets it up. Here's a chance for Babbage. Big leap, got his hands over the back. Nike out lingering.
Chips lurking.
Good work out there by the Dogs' defence.
Oh,
Here's
he's tripping
Chipiano, loses control of it.
Lucky.
Comes to Nike,
Oh.
follows, he screws it back across the face of goal and out of bounds. So,
Onka's player Tim Webber's just been on his haunches in the background. He's coming over to this stoppage here, but
Trainers lurking.
great work there at ground level to get that ball out to Damien Green a minute ago. So the academy boy just
He's been
coming in
good
a
all
bit,
day.
pitches it up high. Be Hayden doing the ruck work, brings it down. Madsen lurking. Hankin tries to get back out to Madsen. In the meantime, the boundary wins the race, and the academy boy in a rather soggy bit of the ground
Very much so.
will actually comes being past it. So good to see. So the young fella pitches it high. Once again, Hayden doing the ruck work. Ball comes down there, followed up there by Babbage. Sweeps the handball back to Mail.
Oh, good
Gets
strength.
around the opponent. There's a
Oh.
Trent smothered there as Green arrived late and out of bounds on the full is the call. So once again, the Dogs touch. Sorry, yes, I thought it deflected. So once again, the Academy boy certainly earning his money here this afternoon. Goldie.
He's been
The
good.
ball's getting heavier and wetter in this.
It is.
these,
It looked like Arnie Schwarzenegger by the end of the game. He'd done that much work. I tried to sock it through as Babbage comes back here to pack situation. Babbage at ground level comes out. Hayden somehow got out of there. High kick towards the top of the square.
Dangerous.
Fanning versus Nykamp. Fanning with the
Good
spoil.
work.
Comes back to George Dent. He's got nowhere to go. Should
Oh,
concede the
okay,
point.
no,
Yet style. Now he got across to Matty Dean. Matty Dean with a clearing kick to half-back flank area. Only as far as Trent Mail marks for the Magpies.
So Trent Mail, the Pies on the press here. Last time we called, they kicked 7 goals against, well, 12 goals unanswered, didn't they, in that second half against your Radler. Similar conditions. So Dogs holding up here. Nykamp tries to go a soccer kick off the ground, and good work there by Zach George Dent, holds the ball. So
Very good this afternoon, George Dent, hasn't he?
the Pies are pressing here. All the players basically in their forward 50 area. Number of players around the action here, just in front of us in the broadcasting spot. Hayden managed to get a kick away, and that's gone through for a minor score. So opening point. Well, another point there for the Pies. They go to 3 goals 7, I think now. Onka's 1 goal 4. So Jeffries, what can he do here from the kick out? We saw
Guys are
Hahndorf.
just so well set up behind the ball. They do a great job at locking in their forward line.
We saw the
Again,
Yep. Once again, here's a chance out the back. Handball from Sleep. Tried to move it on to Carissa, who had a sensational, I think, 3rd term last week. Green Slade. Got the hand from the Catfish. Goes back to Carissa. The Pies are on the surge here with the pressure stakes. Hankin strips of it. Good work there. Snapped by Matt Dean. Gets it up the wing. Okay, they got a chance here to Dogs, and it's taken by Dan Scholl, centre wing.
Cocciolone.
Oh, it's Cocciolone, sorry.
So Cocciolone, kicked in the edge.
Good
Ball
work.
close to the boundary line.
There's
Coming
Scholl.
near Scholl this time. Oh, great pickup. Still managed to no over the boundary line. Interesting, Colo. They'd be. I know it's only half a game gone, but against the other top 4 sides, Hahndorf, Mount Barker beat by 45 points. Blackwood 36 points. Loberthal by 102 points. And so the Dogs are holding up pretty well at the moment.
yeah, conditions are certainly.
Oh, of
helping,
course,
but,
yes.
But
Meanwhile, umpires called that play on.
Has he? I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Green, it was finally taken by Green Slade. Got up here, good spoil there on Shell. Ball comes to ground.
Oh, that's...
Desperate, yeah, interesting tackling there.
Okay, they got a chance here to work it from the stoppage, the Dogs. 6 minutes gone, 3-7 Hahndorf. Onka's 1 goal 4. It's inside 50 here for the Dogs. Clearing kick, though, for Hahndorf. Taken by Matty Dean. So he can... Kuiper, sorry.
Yep.
Get my names wrong here.
Long sleeve jerseys.
Kuiper.
All right.
Kicks inside 50. Williams is around the action. Taken by... Well, Andy Vines has taken it there by Joel Leake. And it's held inside 50 for Onka's half-forward line.
So ball up as Goldie called, just up from the scoreboard. Nearly 6 minutes expired. 3-7 plays 1-4. Ripping game of football here, low scoring.
Oh, great hands.
Greenside out, overrunning it was Vines. Stacks on the mill there.
just deserved kick goal, don't they? They just
Yeah,
Hahndorf's
for their
doing
efforts.
a great job though. You just watch them
Yep.
behind the footy. They're setting up so well.
Yep. So Ruckdale ball comes down. I think it was Perling involved there. Goes back and applies a big tackle. Makes sure the Dogs' opponent, I think it was Green, goes nowhere. So once again, a ball up will occur. So umpire Lawless tossing the ball up. Looks like umpire Hall behind the players actually explaining something to one of the Onka's players. Perhaps the jurisdiction of the rule. Ball pushed out here. Looks like it's Carissa, I think it is. Sorry, it was Matty Dean. Gets the ball back.
Oh,
attempted
slips
mark
catch.
there by Webber. Unfortunately, he couldn't control it.
Good
Ball
hands.
comes out here. Good hands fed out by Eckerman. Kick forward. Hankin getting involved there.
Good work, Green Slate.
Greenside involved, yes. Ball goes to ground through Daincy Hayden. Oh, good pick up by Green.
Oh.
Got it back to Matty Dean. Fumbles, but goes back and gets it. And then
Oh,
his kick
gee.
is smothered. So now, boggy bit of the ground. Comes to Madsen. His kick is smothered.
There we
Scrappy
go.
ball. Finally a click forward there for the Dogs.
Good chop out.
Spoiled there.
I think it was the chip involved there, wasn't it?
And once again, so these conditions really starting to take a toll here, and the pressure. So 7.5 minutes gone, 3-7 plays 1-4 and quarter. Well, get involved on hillsfooty.com. Let us know where you're watching it. Hopefully it's a little bit
Oh, here's a chance.
warmer. Comes out here to the chip. It's called by Goldie, so the chip
right.
takes the uncontested mark.
Terry's
Goes
deep.
out wide. He's got a lead out wide.
Oh,
Bouncing ball out there. I think
Catfish.
it's the Vines, the Catfish in opposition to Trent. Mail ball walked over the line
That's just
up
a
from
perfect
Onka.
example there, Pistols, of the difference to the sides. Hahndorf had that ball where Chipiana had it. They would have gone strong to the goal front and really looked dangerous, where Onka's instead have gone hard right and they're out at the light post getting a boundary throw in.
So leak versus sleep, experience versus youth there. Ball comes down, pack situation. Cleared up the line, still not getting involved there. Matson in there as well, Hayden. So finally, Chipiana.
Yeah, they deserve
Below
something
the
here,
top,
the
Parker
Dogs.
by scrambly football, rolling pack as we'd probably call it. And in the end, umpire Hall was picked out a free kick. Looks like it's going to mail back there for the Magpies Goldie.
Yep, Trent Mole had a shot, couple of shots actually, to start this third term. Oh, what's he doing?
Ran into trouble.
Eventually went into trouble, but it's gone down the throat of Chip, dropped the mark, brings it to ground level. Dogs are fighting. Here's a chance for Ingram. Snap into the middle of the ground. Dangerous position. Attended mark there was Nykamp. Soccering forward was Jarrett Mail. Usually dangerous in these positions. Good work there. 4 Onka's players. Ball snaps out the back. Tunnel ball style. Here's a chance for Parker Bors. Tries to use the strength, and he's wrapped up in the tackle there by Jeffries.
Great tackle by Jeffries, because if he got out there, he was a home.
Those two had a couple of good matchups last year with tackles and fend-offs. It was, yeah. Meantime, inside 50, Carissa smothered. Shoveled a handball out there. Yench goes to Madsen. Tried to go to squirt. Kicks. That gone 15. Yes, says the umpire. It's gone to Handby.
So as previously called by Shane Collins, you just see this magpie machine, and Madsen just lifting the eyes, saw Hamby was loose and on into the lead.
Yeah, just execution. We spoke about that all day, haven't we? Onka's effort's been A1, but execution's the difference. And we just said before, a boundary throw in compared to having a shot on goal.
Lob pass. Just sets it up into a dangerous position. I tell you what, that is, well, set play maybe. I don't know.
Sure, the Dogs, Johnny Greensay one where his hands going there. What happened there in the Dogs' defence? I wouldn't say in disarray, just
a little bit of a lob pass.
No communication. And
Matty Dean can throw his head around as much as he wants, but your number one rule as a defender, if your man goes, you go.
Chip onto the green.
So Hank and little Chip, deliberate, and I tell you what, it's
a little bit of a chip onto the
umpire
green.
Moved a bit, but
Handby.
it's a goal.
I don't think the goal umpire could pull up on the carpet. That's what it was.
On the tarmac, on the carpet, quite right there.
No, just poor by Onkas in the back half there. Well done to Hahndorf. Once again, set up beautifully. Madsen, great touch. And, big Hamby. That was a lovely kick to the top of the square. We just spoke about that, didn't we? Saying that that's the dangerous kick. And, as I said, Matty Dean, as a defender, when your man goes, you have to go. It doesn't matter. So
they've put in a good effort, Shane, but you called it an easy, soft goal.
Yeah, it was.
In the end, wasn't it?
Yep.
So back in the centre.
Joel Leake's gone into the ruck.
Yep, Leake was contesting that one as the ball comes out here. Quick kick away for the Magpies up the line. And get involved with Jared Mail. Goes back with a good, strong second effort. Over the top of him, looked like it was George Dent. So the umpire will come in and recommence play. Firm area, the wing area.
Very firm.
So big throw. Up high, ball comes down. Once again, taken away by Vines. Goes towards the centre half position. Lumbering out and taking a good, strong mark as the young fella and Will Cowling in his goal. He said, good to see him back in action after that, accidental hit a couple of weeks ago against Nam. But I think he was in the twos last week.
He's going to be...
Yeah.
This is his first game back, mate. So he wasn't going to play twos today. And then with a couple of late withdrawals, he's come straight back into the ones.
Probably suggests it's beyond his distance.
He's got some timber down there.
Off has made a full out of me. It's not hard to do as he's snuck through for a minor
Good
score.
young fella. He actually trains in the mornings for the junior teams. He puts the whites on and looks after all the kids and then comes out and plays in the Arvo.
So the silky one, Yench will do the kicking out. Duties for Hahndorf. Goes out wide. Is Cheney out there? No. Unusually. As ball comes to ground, Trent Moe, his head over the ball.
He's over the other side.
Tries to feed it out. Ball
Madsen.
eventually comes out here. High kick away by, goes higher and goes longer by Hayden. Coming across and take the mark was a leak of the Joel variety.
Yep, Daniel Roberts having a bit of a break on the bench. Madsen kicks it out towards wing. Here's Cheney lurking. Good work from Carissa. Goes into one mitt. Goes in again nicely. Earns a free kick. Advantage played. Umpire says yes. Kicks it towards the middle of the ground. Taken by Big Dan Scholl. Handballs to Johnny Greenslade. Got players... Plenty of them inside 50 to Chip. What can he do? Shrugs off a tackler, does he? No.
That's the difference.
That's the difference.
Needed to hit the run there to Chip.
Absolutely. There was Hahndorf's execution with that before got him a shot on goal. Got him a goal. Onka's just can't quite finish that
Just
off.
waited the ball out in front of him to run on, but in these conditions a bit heavy, so unfortunately missed opportunity, but they're still in there. There's that man Chipiana. Meanwhile, fed out here and finally clearing kick by Parker Bos for the Pies. Up high kick and a good Martin Jeffries drifted down the field.
50. Is it?
Hang on now. No, he's turned it over for a push out, I believe, so it's going to go back. The agency of Leak, I think it is, Goldie.
Coach's bench have got their arms out fairly wide there.
A little bit of replay. here.
So, across over here to the lead of Hankin in the pedestrian crossing area. Interchange, he's taken the mark. So, Hankin kicked the last goal. In fact, the only goal of this half so far after 13 minutes. 4-7 Hahndorf, 1-4 to Onka. So, Hankin's kick sets itself. Big leak was Leak. Also was Shell.
Good mark.
And takes a tradesman-like mark, even in the wet conditions. So, Daniel Shaw, what a great athlete he is, that's for sure. Sends the Dogs back. Big Terrence Sleep lumbers out. Was he pushed out by the Stallion? Well, we could see it from here. Umpire could. Parker Bos with another high kick. That's high. Brings some more rain. Ball comes to the ground. Locked up there trying to break free was Babbage. Good tackle by Zach George Dent. Umpire will come in and board up. As I said, 13, nearly 14 minutes gone. 4-7, 1-4.
So ball up. Shoal versus Leak. Ball hits the deck. Green's around the action. Managed to get a handball out there was Joel Leak. Umpire's called a free kick. It's gone Dog's way. So there's even up at her. Damien Green.
The older upper.
So Damien Green kicks it past Dingo Tanner in the Onka's coaching box. Half forward line for Onka's. Could be held on here. Free kick still not. So what can he do here? He's got the ball towards the half forward line. Johnny Greenslade streaming forward. He's got Cowling deeper
This
there.
is where they've got to be better. He's got to find a
He's got a player out there on the
George Dent.
George Dent.
Don't know if he probably kicked that far. No.
Short pass. Okay, patient build up here. The Chip's got it. Next
Mayo's lurking.
Next kick is important.
Got two out here.
Cowling's on the lead. Goes to him.
Oh, got his hands
Brings
to
it to ground level. Catfish lurking. Out of bounds. So the Dogs can have a chance here from a boundary throw-in.
As I say, Colo, days like this, the more times you handle the ball, the more chance you've got of making a mistake.
Yeah.
And
Just off the stoppage here, but
make them count. And, sorry,
No,
ball
let
comes
that
out here to
umpire's letting it
Mayo.
go. Oh, nice handball. Sinot. What's it called here?
Someone had an area with the foot there.
Your point's very interesting, Pistols, because you've got to be careful with the balance, because you don't want to just bomb it long for Hahndorf, because that's what Cheney and those boys want. But then, you're right, you don't want to overuse it either. So you've got to find that balance in the middle.
Looks like it's Hopgood getting up rather gingerly there. He handballs the ball off.
Got to hold it here. Cheney, here he is.
Cheney runs through the mud patch, finds a dry, firmer bit, and goes long up the Yench wing area. Target up here's the Como. Man Ingram got the ball down front, taken by that man Yench.
Silky.
High kick. Camped under it was Kuiper. Fisted forward there by Williams.
Oh.
Gathered there by Babbage. Does a bit of candy work. Gives it back to
Sammy
Williams.
Williams.
Finds a handball.
Oh.
Draws the play. Gives it back to Hankin. Hankin in turn gets it back to Hamby. Bounce, bounce. And the Chip getting his hands to it. But, well,
nice work, Sam Williams.
Exciting build-up there as we go down to the boys. Jaden and Indy.
Midway through the third term.
Geez, thanks, guys. So, yeah, it's a 27 kicks here for Hahndorf. Indy, what's some more stats for Onkas?
Only 20 kicks for Onkas, and that's mostly because they've been locking it in the forward 50 instead of trying to kick long down the corridor. So they're not playing from half back as much, which you'd think would be good news, but only one behind from those 7 inside 50s is really disappointing at the moment.
And Hahndorf's tackle pressure has been really good. They had 33 tackles this quarter, so it's been really good from them.
Yeah, 33 tackles this quarter. Certainly is good pressure. Comes to Madsen, managed to get a quick kick away. Intercepted by Jeffries. Has been good.
Mayo.
Bouncing ball out here, taken by Greenslade. He's dispossessed, trying to bollock his way through there. Onka's player was Green.
Oh, that's holding the ball.
Yeah, tried to bounce the ball. How's that not holding the ball, umpire? But, well, I don't know. Don't know much about footy, but a lot of people say that. But certainly looked like he'd...
I would suggest you know a fair bit about it, Pistols, and you've called that probably right.
Certainly looked like he didn't know. But anyway, Shell fisted out there. First to get be Vines and hot pursuit as Jench on his own wing. And he says, you're not taking away from me. And ball out over the boundary line. So 17 minutes.
Umpires on the show this week, don't we? I think
yes, we have got umpire Peter Humphries.
Might
will be
roll
doing
out some footage.
Yes, we might say, what's your decision?
Please do.
Perhaps what's your decision? We'll get hold of that.
What's your decision? Yeah.
Put him a foot. Perhaps you can have time on with him.
Here we go.
About the rules.
Johnny Greenslade kicks it inside 50, 1-on-1. Cowling, I think it was, brought the ground level. At the back of the bus was Eckerman.
Played.
Nicely worked
Well
out of
done.
defence. Got a player on, and it's Chip.
I was going to say cool head by the youngster, but he coughed it up to Cipriano, who's been very good this afternoon. Shane, he'll be up there high in the best for the Dogs. Chips it short, running onto it.
There we go. Okay.
And Mayo.
Chips and Mayo, there they are.
There we go. Always combined once a game. So
Actually, Salt's out here today too. That's
it is. Well, we'll get them all involved.
We need an intercept. Yeah.
So,
Okay. Deserve a goal.
Mayo.
Actually, funny
9
we talk
for the
about
season.
Tuesday's show. We could do time on with Colo. We might actually finally get the answer to the question about blind people with the umpires there.
Yeah.
And
That's it. Rob was going to get one.
Well, actually, yes. Yes.
come on,
Very
Pistons,
controversial
you can say.
questions. That very controversial question. So, Mayo.
Okay.
Chance here. Raise a second goal. Drop punt on its
That's
way.
nice.
Oh, hit the post.
It's hit the
Oh.
post. No luck for the Dogs. No luck for their reward or reward for their persistence this afternoon. As they move on to 1-5-4-8, but still, scoreboard doesn't reflect the nature of the competition. Shane, as the ball chipped up the line to Cheney.
He was going to go
From
back
Yench,
to
he was going to go back to Yench, and in the meantime goes
Oh,
to intercept there,
Mayo,
Mayo.
good work.
And well done, Mayo intercepted the attempted, the pass that was meant for Mayo. So the Dogs still in their attacking area, and a chance here to raise a second goal. It's 1-5-4-8, 19 minutes gone here. Third term kick of the wild. Ball comes down to Greenside. Was he infringed? Nose at the umpire. Hayden in there hard, I think it is also. So
A lot of repeat stoppages in today's game with the conditions.
absolutely. So
Slight drizzle.
let's hope it stays slight. So high pitch of the ball by the umpire. Shell locks it forward. There's a chance for Cowling. Can he give it? He was shoved out in the back, says Shane Collins. Perhaps Cheney with a quick high kick away. In the box is George Deno,
Well
the back.
done.
Great
Nice work.
spalling work there. Oh,
Good
well
pick-up.
clubbed there
Scholl.
by Scholl. Gets it out wide. I think it's the Catfish getting involved. He's wrapped up in a tackle. But
5.5 degrees. 5.5. So we're going down now.
what's the question on the weather thing? Will it rain? Well, I tell you what, I think it might. When will it rain? It's between
That's a quiz question.
possible. 60%.
Yeah.
Oh, mishanded.
Ball comes out there.
It is
Kick
raining.
away by Williams, I think it was. Hankin coughs it up. Ground level. Lurking is Greenslade, but locked in at ground level. So once again, the umpire will come and ball up. Just short of 20 minutes here in this third term on Call to Wild. Trust you're enjoying our worldwide coverage here on Hills Footy Media.
So, good period here for the Dogs this last 5 minutes. They've had the ball mainly across their forward line. Just haven't got the goal that they deserve. 1 goal 5. Hahndorf 4 goals 8. Half forward line for the Dogs. What can they do from here from the stoppage? Ball up, Scholl versus Salt in the ruck. Fisted forward by the Dogs towards the boundary line. Collected by Mayo. Hit the post just before and it's gone out of bounds. Just around from the Dogs interchange bench near the light tower. 21 minutes gone. Hahndorf 4-8 looking for 42 in a row. And the Dogs 1 goal 5 looking for their 5th win in a row for the season.
So, quick fall by Greenslade. Locked in there by the defence. Ball spills out here. Finally
Here we
taken
go.
around the corner
Jeffries.
by Jeffries. He's covered a lot of ground this afternoon. Here's a chance for Cowling.
He's
Lurking
been
sorry,
good. Presented across
in
that.
front of the
Oh, Cheney.
scoreboard. Taken by Cheney. Races away. Nurses up the wing towards
Nice work,
teammate
Piper.
and Mail. Ball goes to ground. Once again, in getting involved there's George Dent. Holds the ball in, so the umpire will come in and ball it up. So 21.5 minutes gone. 4-8 plays 1-5. Just the 1 goal added for this quarter by Hahndorf. And of course the Dogs haven't
Here
kicked
we
a goal
go.
since the 16-minute mark of turn 1, but
Free
as it
kick.
doesn't necessarily
Oh,
reflect
that's
as
not
kicking in
in
danger
danger.
there.
Oh,
Carissa
umpire.
just questioned the umpire and umpire Hall
Come on.
saying no, so he benefits. So instead of kicking out of a bit of a bog, he now gets the dry turf to take the kick from here.
Just breaks it open, doesn't it?
So Nurse Ty Babbage running onto it. Will he get there? No, as getting in front with the fist was Kuiper and spoiling that attempted marking opportunity for Babbage. So right in front of us here, the Dreammaker camped on the forward pocket area at the tennis court end of the Hahndorf Oval. Throw in. Icamp brings the ball down. First get there'll be Green under pressure
good
from
strength.
Hankin. Got rid of him.
Oh!
Handball straight around the corner to Leek, whose left foot tumbles forward. They'll come in with
Oh.
a chip. Here's a chance. Hahndorf dangerously. Mail lurking. Tried to buy a free kick there.
Good work.
Also involved was Hayden. Traps the ball cleverly.
Good
Oh,
tackle.
goes. Good tackle applied by the experienced Jeffries.
Just cheering that the rain stops before three-quarter time now, boys.
Yes, Shane. Well, if it comes down, mate, we understand if you want to stay in here, but we'll just talk about you being soft. But,
Nothing
yeah,
changes then.
conditions
You can pretend you're down there.
you can, mate. It's ball close to the boundary line and walked over by Timmy Webber on the cliff pocket. And, of course, just up is the packed pavilion as that rain does get heavier, Shane, so we understand if you want to stay here with us. So, throw in, Sleep gets the ball down in opposition to Nycap, pushed forward. Babbage worked for a free kick, not paid by the umpire, goes back again. Babbage puts his chutney down, tries to push this through like a rugby front rower, but held up there by George Dent, I think it is in the end. So the umpire will come in and ball up. It's 23 and a half gone. Couldn't be much long life left before three-quarter time. High kick away by Yench. Thousands of players camped under it. Comes to ground. Once again trying to burst through is Williams. Babbage in there as well.
Looks like Daniel Roberts is in the dressing gown down there. So
I was
that's
talking to
interesting.
Daniel, and he does still have a little bit of a slight back niggle, he was telling me before the game. So in this position and
No
these
need to
conditions,
risk him today,
yeah, no
is there?
need to risk him because he's such a vital commodity to them. As we said, good to see his brother Matt back playing in the Magoos this afternoon after a hamstring
Well,
injury.
they're giving Leak and Salt a bit of a go in the ruck.
Yeah, and of course Lukey Roberts now
And
of his,
Cooper Nycam down there.
now
There
of
we
his
go.
employment, unable to play this year, so he does carry the stocks for him in the big men department, that's for sure. As the rain tumbles down here at three-quarter time. As what was going on there? I thought it might be a little bit of push and shove as the teams now break. Perhaps a bit of verbal advice between the sides there, Shane.
Yeah, it's been a good spirited match. It's been a good contest. The effort's been excellent from both teams, but as we've harped on a few times today, it's just been the execution of the Magpies. They just look far more dangerous when they get to sort of within 30 metres of goal, where Onkas just don't have the ability to finish those opportunities off, and hence the reason they're slightly down. But I think if you looked at all the stats and all the information today about today's game, Onkas would be right up there with possessions, inside 50s, all of that. But it's just that execution in front of goal that's the difference. And you know, we talk about Hahndorf. I was only just thinking today coming to the game. You know, you've got a player like Kyle Cheney who plays ex-AFL star who plays as a floating half-back flanker.
Yeah.
You know, how many clubs could have the luxury of having that? Now, to be fair, you need to put a player of same substance to him, but any club that's got a player of the same substance, they've got to play centre or ruck rover or centre half forward or centre
correct.
half back.
Yes.
They can't be a floating player, so he can just take the luxury of grabbing one of the smaller forwards, if you like, and
Yeah.
you know, he just sets up so well behind the ball with all his AFL experience, and with Matty Yench around him, they just do it so well. So it's not all about kicking goals and going forward for the Hahndorf Magpies. Their game is built around defence and structuring up behind the ball, and that's what makes it so difficult for teams to score against them.
It was quite interesting pre-match, Shane. We're honoured to have the great man John Roberts on, of course, father of the trio of the Roberts boys himself, absolute all-Australian, 9 times leading goal kicker, 283 game player, and holds the record for the most goals at Footy Park. And he was saying about the Hahndorf Football Club and just the side they've got at the moment. It's just just the way they play for each other. They're not a team, but they are a champion team. The terminology, football term, but they are a champion team, but they are a team of champions, and they just combine so well.
Spot on. And the difference between them and anyone else in the competition is their bottom 8 players, if you were to be rude enough to write them down in a list, their bottom 8 players are stars. Absolute stars. You know, where you look at all the other sides going around, Lobethel's on the improve, Onkas have improved in recent time, but their bottom 8 players are nowhere near the level of Hahndorf's, and that's also the difference. We can talk about the Cheneys and the Yenches and the Roberts as much as we like, but it's those players. Nycamp, Salt, these young fellas, Eckerman, just quality players, and they're the future of the Hahndorf Footy Club as well.
All right, three-quarter time huddles at the moment, so what we might do, a man whose teeth is chattering out there, so we better warm him up for him. Jaden J. Hill and Indy for the stats.
Cheers, Pistols. Thanks for that one. So, 39 kicks and 24 handballs for Hahndorf in that quarter, 11 inside 50s, and a whopping 46 tackles in that quarter. They were just unreal. Most of them in their forward half, trying to lock it in a little bit, and then as you saw in the last 5 minutes of that quarter, Onkas are really good locking it in their forward half. Indy, what's your analysis, mate?
Well, after being really good disposal winners for the first 2 quarters, I almost think Onka's hunched back a bit in that third term. They were very lazy with kicks and handballs compared to the first half. Only 24 kicks to 39 in Hahndorf's favour, and 19 handballs to 24 in Hahndorf's favour as well. But once again, the disappointment, they kicked 2 behinds in the second quarter. They kicked 2 behinds again in this third quarter. They've really just got no firepower, Onkas. You know, they've barely got any targets to take marks inside 50, and they had 2 in that quarter, which is their most for the game per quarter at the moment. So that's really disappointing. They just need some more forward firepower, and this could be a much closer affair if that was the case, but it's just disappointing. And also, the 46 tackles Hahndorf had, I think they've applied more pressure around the contest, and Onkas aren't getting those easy centre clearances anymore, so that's preventing their easy ball movement.
And also, as Indy touched on, Onkas only scored 2 behinds in that last quarter and the quarter before that. So that's the 9th time Hahndorf has kept a team goals this year.
Good on you, boys. Thanks very much for that. As we're underway, final term here. 20-point margin in favour of Hahndorf. Bouncing ball comes to that man Cheney, gathers it, quickly gets a kick away under pressure. Out here leading towards Mail. Also coming is Hankin, but ball walked across the boundary line there. So 4-8 plays 1-6, but as we said, the standard of the play has certainly been a lot closer than that in these, pretty dull conditions here at the moment. Hello to Johnny Douglas, who's watching us from Melbourne. He's got a message there, Goldie, too cold today for Rob to be having a frothy. Well, I think he's right, he might be on the red wine again, Goldie, as he was the other week, and who could blame him? So ball out here, getting involved there's young Tyson Pake, with the long locks and the long sleeve.
A couple of blonde ones there.
Yeah, so umpire Hall will come in and recommence play. So Salt doing the ruck against Shell. Shell wins it down. Webber goes back for second and get the ball out here to Cipriano, who's been good this afternoon. Gave it back to
Mayo. Oh.
Mayo's kicked back here to
nice work.
Taken high. No,
good vision.
no,
That's great.
Comes out into Mayo, feeds the ball, intercepting
that's unlucky.
it. Intercepting it there was Leck, bouncing ball out towards Mayo. Dean comes to intercept him, but hanging out there. It's a good tackle applied there by
Holding the ball?
Jeffries. He's paid to holding the man, I think, which a bit unlucky there at Joffa Jeffries. So it'll be Nick Hangan with the free kick on right on the Yench wing area for the Pies. Just under 90 seconds gone. Pictured across to the namesake of the man in Matthew Yench, who's right on the corner of the centre square.
So Yench, one step bang, kicks it towards the half forward line. Who's down now? Or double-fisted spoil there by Dean. Ground level, taken by Leak, goes into the pocket, taken by Jarrett Mail. Squirting it across the face and the chip. He's racked up the touches in the second half. Ooh. Goes one way then the other. Short pass over the top. Who's he got? Well, it's gone one-on-one contest. Madsen up against Webber, I think it is, out towards the boundary line. Good contest once again. Over the top, taken by Parker Bowles. He snaps it inside 50 for Hahndorf. A couple of players diving for the chest mark. Umpire says play on. Greenslade goes to the chip once again. Kicks it towards the interchange wing. Sinot the target over the top. Here's a chance for Andy Vines. Pake supports him with a good Shepherd. But it's taken here by Joel Leak, who's got Cheney. Oh, there's the magnet and goes to him.
So Cheney takes the ball, firm part of the ground, top end of the ground, just down from the Dreammaker. He goes short. What surprise there to Yench. Yench will go back to him. And what's the case? You reckon he'll go back to Yench again? No, he'll go short to Salt. So Salt taking the ball here. Had Yench on offer. Looks like he may well go back and send it longer, although Cheney running off. Yench pointing out wide. That's the direction Salt goes. Nurses the kick back up to Eckerman, who started with the ball. So, yeah, there you go. Shame of about 10 possessions. Ball's ended back with Eckerman and just hangs his head in Shane. It's a cowling sport, the kick.
Can't fault the defensive work of Onkas today. It's just that polish in front, but Hahndorf just showed their class on a few too many occasions today to get that score on the board.
Country Division, three-quarter time, Gumaraka 7-4. Your boys, your hot tip of the day, Colo Meadows 6-7. So game on it, a 3-point ball game. So it could be interesting. Meanwhile, back here at Pine Avenue, ball comes up, trying to read it off hands with Carissa, went past it and taken away by Trent. Mile goes bang straight down the centre corridor, looking for a target down there. Good spoil by Fanning, goes back at ground level to find it. Taken around the corner by Babbage, hasn't got on the board this afternoon and still hasn't as he goes through for a minor score. The first score of the final term. 4-9 plays at 1-6 here, Goldie.
One of those half chances, wasn't it? Carissa just needed to be solid behind that crumb, and he was running into an open 40-metre shot at goal.
Dogs work it out of defence. Oh, Andy Vines was the target, but Parker Bowes.
That's a great mark in these conditions.
Near the light tower. Parker Bowes kicks deep inside 50. Hayden's the target. Well, there's a number of players there. Ball hits the deck. Hayden crumbed his own work, trying to clear the ball there. Well, the Dogs got it out of the defensive 50. Tunnel ball action. Players slipping over, Salt's around it. Good work there for the Dogs by Mayo, I think it was. Kick out to Andy Vines, kick towards centre wing. Eckerman punches it out towards the boundary line against Cowling and will reload near the Hahndorf interchange bench.
You just missed it, Goldie. The replay that. That's a one-headed specky magic trick in these conditions there by Troy Parker Bowles. Once again, been pretty handy this afternoon. So the Boundary Academy boy brings the ball back in. Rucks Gather assault against Shell flicks it down. Green was involved. Also was Mayo. Go back there to George Dent, I think. High kick.
Stallion.
Lumbering out is the Stallion. Beyond him, toe poke forward by the Bilby, the leading goal kicker with 14, but hasn't been his conditions this afternoon, Shane, that's for sure.
Just hasn't got enough of clean footy and these conditions. Strangely enough, you want speed and you want clean ball handling today. You think it would suit him, but it just hasn't.
And you probably need a yellow ball which absorbs the moisture a bit better. So Salt got the tap down towards the chip. Ground level was green, so he got it back there to Jeffries. In the meantime,
Nice
shredded
work,
out there
over.
by the Como man and Ingram. Ends with Salt. Salt gets up the line. Matty Dean spills a slippery ball out over the boundary line in opposition to Hayden.
Great call, Goldie, because it was well done by the comb over. Just clean with the footy there. There's the difference. And Onka's dropping a chest mark. So just that little difference between the two clubs today.
Boundary throwing, left armour. Ball hits the deck. Madsen's around it. Here's a chance for the Dogs. Clean hands. 1, 2, 3. Got it out to Greenslade. What can he do? It goes to the Catfish. Got time to use it here. Kick inside 50. Sinot 1 on 2. Perling with the just once again, just that little fumble. Carissa running into goal. Eckerman clearing kick out of the fence. 1-on-1 contest. Hankin versus Dean. Drop the mark. Hankin goes at it again. Kept his feet, as Colo said, and the ball was held up in the middle of the ground. Kuiper.
Yep, Kuiper toeing the ground level. Good tackle applied to him there by, looks like it was Nycamp.
Deserve a goal here, the Dogs.
Yep, bouncing ball out wide. First to get be Nick Hank, and he's got support. Does side on his own. Swings onto the right foot, straightens the ball up, and delivers it well. And I think it's Babbage. Yes, I said hasn't got on the board this afternoon as far as goals go. He's kicked 22. Leading goal kicker for Hahndorf this season, also sitting third on the ladder behind the big O, Big Jack, kicking 12 last week. Shane?
12 goals seems like a hell of a lot when you watch today's game, isn't it?
Absolutely. So Babbage gives it a good roost towards the top of the square, but off hands and through for a minor score. So 2 behinds been added since three-quarter time, both to Hahndorf. They've moved on to 4-10, leading Onka's 1 goal 6. So ball comes back in, setting himself as Eckerman. 1 grab, 2 grab, ball comes to the ground. Leading the race for the ball is Williams. Toe pokes it further afield. Fanning comes across for the Dogs, but the boundary line beats them all. And once again, the Academy boy will come into play. So rain once again, starting to drift in over here at Pine Avenue, but generally been a pretty good standard game around the corner. Williams just couldn't curl it back enough. So 3 straight behinds for the Pies. 4-11 plays, 1-6, 8 minutes gone, final term, called the Wild. And what's gone here's the...
Tommy Mayo's taking the kick from mark from the kick out. Chipiana left it there for the Vines. Went got it himself on the left boot, kicks it towards centre wing. Coccioloni 1-2. That's good mark in the conditions. Umpire says play on. Shoal handballs out towards Pake. He goes a high kick. Cowling 1-on-1 against Leake. Good punch there by Leake. Got some distance on it. Yench goes to Salt. Kick it towards the half forward line. Off a couple of players there. Chest. Ball hits the deck. Babbage is around the action. He's wrapped up in the tackles by Jeffries.
I tell you what's really important now, Shane Collins in the dying well. What, have got 8 minutes gone, so the final 12, 15 minutes, the scoreline doesn't blow away from Onkas because they don't deserve that. And as we spoke, percentage will be pretty important, that double chance fight.
Spot on. It's a good call, and I think also, you know, for Onkas to stick in and just, not that you want to play for a loss, but they've competed super well today.
Yep.
You know, if they can continue this going forward, they can have a good finals campaign. But you know, and also for Hahndorf, they'll be wanting to consolidate and keep the dominance that they've had, both over the competition and the Onka Valley Footy Club.
So, near the Dogs interchange bench or the Light Tower area. Not 10 minutes gone, 4-11 Hahndorf, 1 goal 6 the Dogs. Certainly fighting here. Vines. Kick towards the wing. Perling will float over the back here. Off he goes. Kick inside 50. Out towards the pocket area. And bounce, gone out of bounds. So boundary throwing just around from the point post. 10 minutes gone, final quarter. 4-11. Onkas 1-6 and the temperature is 5.6.
Wow, it's raced up from 5.5 a second ago. That's a throw-in. Nightcamp doing the ruck work. Ball comes to ground level. Threading his way through there was Jeffrey's flicked out a handball, but in the meantime his teammate is locked up.
Got
so
some more
once
sun
again,
coming here.
yeah, a bit of blue sky out there. And don't forget, next week, final round of Division 1, the shortened season. Oh, big leap up there. It was Fanning, I think, going for the ruck tool. Got the ball down, but held in there. Next week, I think, heading out to Loberthal Oval for Loberthal Nan to finish the minor rounds. And of course, then we're in the finals, and of course, we'll be covering all the action on Core the Wild, hillsfooty.com. Once
Oh,
again,
gee
held
whiz.
up there. Yeah,
Players hitting the deck.
Yeah.
Certainly earned their sleep tonight and shower.
Matty Dean hobbling out the back there for Onkas. Hopefully he's all right. Yes, and who's going to tell them that there's no hot water? Back in the day, Shane's would remember the B grade have used all the hot water up.
It'd be more of a surprise to get hot water at this time of year around the clubs in the hills.
Absolutely. Ball comes out here. Chipiana being
He's
useful.
been great.
Puts it up here. Hopgood stands his ground. Fills
Great,
up.
hey?
There's a chance here for Cowling, the
Held
young
his feet.
man. Comes back here over.
Off he goes again. Good
back.
stuff.
Well done, young man. Gets the handball back here to...
Goes again.
Cochileone. Here's assault. Got support from Perling, but sockers it out wide. Eckerman's
Okay, here we go.
Eckerman's lurking.
2-on-2.
Oh, a bit of...
Oh, gang tackle. Holds him up.
incommunicative, well, that word was the other night, Shane, that I used, but no talk there between the two Hahndorf boys, so there could have been a clearance. Said a ruck duel. Ball comes down here, taken around the corner by Catfish, puts it high. The Stallion got his hands to it. Oh, good work by Pate, the youngster versus the veteran. Comes out here to Moucho. It's once again Cowling coming in.
Good work.
And some good work by a couple of the future stars for the Dogs there, Shane.
Yeah, they're trying hard. Just not much luck there. I'm not sure how that wouldn't have freed his shoal. He's been the ruckman all day, but somehow he's allowed to be held out of the contest and play on its cool.
Perhaps we'll ask umpire Peter Humphries during the week on Footy Unplugged. Throw in, Cowling.
Oh.
Ball come down, Stallion. Hayden got his hands to it. Pake's in there. Hayden ground level held up.
He's played well today, Hayden. Been impressed with him, both forward, back and through the mid. He's done a great job.
Versatile footballer, that's for sure. So
I think he had a bit of time at Sturt a couple of years ago.
So umpire Hall sets it up. Salt went early. No one really got the tap. Ball comes down there. Weber tried to get his way through. Finally got a high kick. Stallion's involved. Got a clearing fist. Malcho tried to tap it forward. Taken by Leak. Shoots at the handball out here.
Here we go.
To a teammate in
Magnet.
Hopgood. Got it to the ball magnet in Cheney. But only as far as Dean, I think it is. Handballs it back to Jeffries.
Good vision.
Jeffries up here. And finally Tommy Mayo takes the mark just
Take
on the
your
edge
time.
of the 50-metre arc. On the inch wing side of the ground. So
Big timber here. Hayden and Perling just putting themselves in the
can the
spot.
Dogs,
This has been the Bulldogs' challenge most of the years.
We
A
need
forward
'em.
target to
Can
take catch.
can they get a second
Sinot's
goal?
on. Sinot's on.
Sinot comes out.
Oh, Hayden.
Hayden got involved. There's a Catfish, gets a quick kick away. Moucho's lurking.
Cowling.
Also, it's Cowling. Was that too high?
Yeah.
No, said the umpire. Great
No, the
save.
umpire down the
Oh, wow, he's taken the
He's
green
got an
side.
umpire right near him, and he's
Look, it's the right call.
It
but
is.
Seriously. I mean, how you can miss it from 5 metres away, but see it 55.
maybe the. Yeah.
But full credit to Cowling. His last 5 or 6 attacks on the footy
Very,
have been
very good.
really good, really thorough.
The umpire down the ground is called the free in that situation.
What's your decision?
What's your decision? And well, overriding the
look at
man who was in charge. So,
yeah.
Will Cowling here. second goal on the board for the
Deserves
Dogs
it.
this afternoon. They deserve it for their efforts. The youngster.
Lovely work. Deserved
Well
that.
done, young man. Would that be close to his first A-grade goal for the Dogs?
Well, it looks
I
like
think it
it. They're
actually
coming
would
from
be.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just happy to get their first goal since the 16-minute mark. That's the first term. No, all
Keeping
credit.
each other warm.
Yeah, all credit. Just warm up the heads. Well done, Cowling, and persistence by the Dogs. So they finally get a second goal on the board, boys. They race to 2 goal 6 to 4 goal 11, I think it is.
Yep.
4 goal 11.
Well, you
correct?
never know.
You never know. They might have a quick,
To
rush.
be fair, it's 15 scoring shots to 8. So, Hahndorf have been the dominant on the scoreboard today. But, Onkas need to finish off with just a couple of goals here. It'd be nice for their day.
So big Terrence Sleep against
Right.
There we
Leap. Ball
go.
comes down, but straight away Parker Biles with the countering clearance, bouncing ball in the
Sam Hayden.
up there. Hayden getting
Nice
involved.
work. Comb over.
Came over around the corner. Can he? Forced
Dent.
over line by George Dent there. So quick reply as they went into attack, but only a minor score results. But still 4-12 plays 2-6 called the Wild. The final term here, 15 minutes gone, Goldie.
George Dent brings the ball in, and Sammy Williams takes the mark. Done some good things today.
Been really impressed with the games we've seen him this year,
Yep.
Sammy Williams. He's really stepped up
He
this
actually
year. I
goes
think.
under the radar, I feel. He's not one of their big name players, but
No,
he does
exactly.
a lot of bullocking work, and he's tough in and under. He's got a great set of hands. I really like the way he plays.
So Williams, half forward line, kicking from bang on 50. Will he lob it up? Well, he goes to a dangerous position. Could have been chopped off there by Carissa, and held up,
Riding him like a horse.
riding him like a horse. Absolutely.
That was the
15,
goal.
20 metres out from Hahndorf's goal. Kicking towards the Pine Avenue end. The Dogs on the board in this quarter through Cowling. Close the margin down to 3 goals now. Midway through the final term. So still in it. Kick out of the fence. think that was Jeffries. Kick towards the wing area. Taken by Mauchow. He goes towards Trent Mail. Kick inside 50. Hahndorf consecutive inside 50s. Handby. Handball over the top, looking for a teammate in the pocket area. Oh, nice hands. Goes back to Handby off one step. Opportunist.
Hit the post, didn't it? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
Post.
hit the
Right at
post.
top.
I tell you, that's a one-step kick by Hamby, wasn't it?
It was one of those kids' jammers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One 8 kids do, but he got it beautifully and was a bit stiff not to kick the goal.
Almost Jimmy Cracker style.
Yeah.
So, kick out here. Shoal
Good mark.
puts the big
Played
frame
well
in
today.
front of Melcher and takes the mark.
Here we
Quickly
go, here
gets
we
it
go,
on
here
here
we go.
to
Oh,
teammate Weber.
yes.
Weber gets a Cochiglione who controlled the ball enough to pull it down for a mark. It's Yencher
Oh,
then slips
just
over.
eager to move it here.
Yeah, gets over there, kicks it
Ah.
about the mark. So not one for the highlights reel for Mitch Cochiglione there. As the ball held in
No,
there.
it wasn't, but I must say, well done to Matty Yench on the mark. He worked that mark beautifully.
Just
Although
let-
Cochiglione slipped, he just done a great job. It's the little things that make a big difference.
Oh, here we go. From the stoppage, the Magpies. Oh, good cut off. Yep, held in there by George Dent. Oh, umpire's swanning himself, ready to go. Williams, talk about him before. Held up, clearing kick from Joel Leake. Kick towards the half-forward line, 1, 2, 3. Is that a mark? Yes, it is. And Fanning, Jeffrey, goes over to Tom Mayo, holding the ball.
Bell, I think it was it? It's occasion Noah Bell. 31, I think it was, Goldie in the
Oh, is it?
distance. Yep, so our man Nicky Ingham.
Nah, I'm with Goldie.
You were Goldie?
Go
So,
there.
haven't
I'm
done it
with
really
Ving.
well, mate.
I got to get it
Shout
right.
out.
It's a comb over, man. He nurses it down the wing.
Oh,
Comes back in here.
Good
Clearing
work.
kick. Was that Bill? Ball comes back. Oh, big right by Live.
Stallion.
Comes back here. Shred out the back door to Mauchow.
He's been all right.
Nurses it up the line. The Chip getting involved.
Here's
A
the
loose
ma-
attempt taken by
The magnet.
Sheeny. Goes towards the top of the square.
Oh, Babbage.
One grab, two grab, but I think he might have been over the line. Yes, indeed. So Hahndorf still in the quest for a major for the final term. They've kicked 6 consecutive points, boys, as they lead 4-14 to 2-6.
Oh, that's what not you want. Yeah, Hayden cutting across. Read it well there.
So we get that once
We
once
get that.
around, boys.
Every,
The,
that's average once around.
what do you call it?
The cutout pass. Cheney's just having a bit of a stint on the pine here, is he?
The errant kick out.
Not sure who's coming on, or Nick Hankins coming on.
Now Hayden, not a multiple goal kicker this year. But been pretty good this afternoon, as mentioned, around the ball and around the ground. So drop punt.
Oh, he doesn't like that.
Goes across the face of the goals.
Might just have a look around the
for a
ground.
minor score, so 7 straight behinds. As we said, Shane, props lucky they haven't kicked straight this last quarter.
Game on at Mount Barker, 3 points the margin.
Well, 3-11 to 5-2, Shane Collins. So 2-point margins at the moment to the Roos. And meanwhile, back at Pine Avenue, the ball nursed up the line. Cornish was involved there. Little grubber kick forward for the Dogs. Vines at ground level. Ball out towards...
A couple of points the margin at Gumaraka.
Could have been a possession there for Coach Dingo Tanner on the sidelines there.
At least they've got a bit of sun out there now.
So, ball comes back in. Leak against Sleep. Ball comes down there, worked forward. Ground level Johnny Greenslade has been very good this afternoon.
Yep.
Held to him, so umpire will come in and board up. There's 5.6 degrees.
5 degrees, just drops 0.6.
5 degrees. Wow.
Don't hit reset.
Wow.
It's going down at a significant rate. As that shadow comes in here.
Down here in the valley. But still a good crowd in the house here, boys. I said sponsors day here today at Hahndorf, and a good
We got
crowd in
soccer
there.
up the top there?
Yeah, there is soccer as well. But yeah, final home game of the season for the Magpies. Quick kick away there by Yench. Fanning over the top with the destroying fist. Ball comes to ground level. I think it's Babbage working hard down there. Ground level. Ball comes out the back.
Topo!
Little Topo followed by Nycamp, who just, managed to thread it through. So, yeah.
Jaden and Indy.
Jaden and Indy.
Got some stuff there, lads?
32 kicks and 18 handballs for Onkas at the moment, but just once again, disappointing. No forward conversion. They've only got 4 inside 50s to begin with, and somehow they managed to kick a goal in this quarter when they didn't in the second and third when they got more repeat entries. So I really don't understand what's going on with Onkas now. I just think they've slacked off a bit, and they've fallen victim to Hahndorf's tackling pressure in the middle, evidently, because Weber and Greenslade aren't as elite as they were in the first half.
Back to you guys.
Brutal assessment.
Brutal.
Jade, do you want to go again? I don't think I got you.
Yeah, so yeah, 30 kicks, 13 inside 50s, and 19 handballs there for Hahndorf in this quarter. Again, they've been really good in the back half of the last quarter and getting the much-needed goals they need. So, back to you guys.
I tell you what, the 500 man's just become the toe cutter, Shane Collins. I tell you what, that's the ball. Chippiana locked up there, got a couple of Magpies to beat, held to him. So,
biggest challenge for the Pies at the moment is Matty Yench getting a phone number to text after midnight tonight. I think that's where the game's at now.
So, ball comes out here. Trying to thread it out once again. Finally leaked. No, couldn't get the ball clear by boot. Ball held back in at ground level. Bit of a running scrum at the moment, rugby style. So the umpire will come in, umpire Hall.
That's 5:15, isn't it? Yeah.
Umpire Hall and umpire Lawless done a pretty good job in trying conditions here this afternoon. So ball up, high ball up. Sherwood delete, taken away nicely by Vines.
Yep.
Gets it back there to Jeffries. He feeds a handball to Jag Cornish.
Yep.
He's got time to steady. High kick out towards the wing area. First to get there be Salt, but I think the bounce on the firm turf out there will elude him. And nearly out of bounds there at the pedestrian crossing. Doing a good trade at the moment, Goldie, as the crowd start to subside.
Yep, head for a fire or something. Boundary throw in. Scholl cleverly over the top to Cornish. Just called him before and he's held up. On the interchange wing, 22-minute mark, final term, round 8, so 1 round to go in the season before we have finals. At the moment, it's 5 degrees here from Hahndorf.
3/4 time, I can tell you, Mount Lofty 6-3, leading your age to 4-13. Bearing in mind that was 3/4 time score.
So, Catfish, got some touches. To George Dent, also got some touches. Kicks towards the half-forward line. 1-on-1, Perling versus Sleep. It's gone over the back. Here's a chance for Sinot. Ball is held up, half-forward line, on the sunny side of the ground. And also firm turf over there. So the Dogs can work something here from the stoppage in the ruck. Leak versus Sleep. Coming through was Cornish, stripped of it. Vines. And he's held up. So we've gone 23-minute mark. Hahndorf 5:15. Onkas 2 goals 6. Stoppage. Sleep cleverly into a dangerous position. It's taken by Trent Mail though. 1 step. Torp. 1-on-1 contest. Babbage up against, I think it's Jeffries, is it? Well, it's Topo. Bell, sorry. Out towards the boundary line. Good work by Bell. And he did that nicely against Babbage.
Yep, good.
Gets the applause from the Dogs interchange bench.
So 5:15, 2-6, 23 and a half minutes gone here in this final term. As the sun's back out, Goldie, so 5 degrees,
the
but
temperature.
nice sunny conditions and might have rocketed up to 6.
No, it's
as the
still
ball
5.
comes out to do Weber dispossesses. Chipiani's been busy this afternoon, taken high, and has drawn a free kick just inside the centre square area. As our man Shane Collins has departed, and they'll have a post-match interview for you. So Chipiana, high kick,
Nacho flight.
setting himself over the top. Was Malcho, is called by Goldie, bursting his way through his cowling, left the ball behind.
Good tackle.
Ball comes out now, high tackle.
Yeah, he does
Williams.
that well. He does that well.
Yep, Williams, and unfortunately Cochileone just infringing there. So
He's got
Williams.
Hopgood out here on the wing, or half back.
So Sammy Williams
He's got Hayden also.
goes long out here. And the Hankins also out there if Madsen can
There
control
it
it.
is.
As the siren is gone to end, well, scoreline perhaps doesn't suggest the nature of the contest. 5:15 and Onka Valley 2 goals 6, so 3-9 margin in the
Yep,
end.
don't go anywhere. Colo's out on the ground. Jaden, do you have the last, Hahndorf's, is that the narrowest margin Hahndorf
Is that
has
the,
had over recent times?
The margin is
The
the
margin, where does that
lowest
rate?
margin
Do
for
you have
Hahndorf
that
for a
stat?
while.
So the
Winning?
highest margin for like
Lowest margin as far as winning.
Margin of
Lowest
a Hahndorf
margin.
win.
Lowest winning margin.
Okay, yeah. So the lowest winning
Well,
margin.
we've
for
put him on the
Walsh-
spot there.
Yeah, you have. So for the year, it's obviously the lowest winning margin for the year for Hahndorf.
Yep. What about the last 42?
Sorry.
Have you got that one?
In the 42
In the
games,
42 games, is that the lowest winning margin by Hahndorf? Have you got that
I'm
one?
not 100%
okay,
sure.
while we leave you to ponder that, we'll go down to Shane Collins.
Yeah, thanks, Pistols. Just out here in the beautiful sunshine of Hahndorf Oval with Hahndorf player Ben. So what win, mate? Trying conditions today, but it's so much sweeter when you can get the win, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a slog today. We sort of knew we were always going to get a good run with these boys. Obviously, playing the grand final against them last year, and they always give us good runs. So yeah, trying conditions as you said, but good to get the win as always.
Yeah, just on the oval, like you've had a lot of rain this week. Did you boys train at all on the oval, or is it just, the water's, it's been a lot of rain, but really got chopped up today with the games on it, didn't it?
Yeah. So Tuesday night we had off because it was pissing down, and we didn't want to chop it up too much. Thursday we had a pretty light run up in the good conditions up here in the top end to just avoid the mud. But yeah, it's been pretty hacked up after the day. So yeah.
And on today's game for you, Daniel Roberts went off early injured. You had to do a bit of ruck work at times there today against Big Dan Scholl, but you got thrown around a lot today, and I know that's Hahndorf's way, but played some different positions for you today?
Yeah, it was always, I've been second ruck a bit this year and had a bit of time on the wing last year, so you just got thrown around a bit. Happy to do it, don't really care where I play, so just as long as I'm out here.
And that's the one thing about the Hahndorf Footy Club. We talked in the call about the experienced players, but as you young blokes, it must be a great buzz to be here at the moment and come through the system and playing footy with the likes of Matty Yench and Cole Cheney and the Roberts boys and all that.
Yeah, it's really good. This young group that's coming through, I think we would have had 18 or 19 Hahndorf young players that have come through the ranks. We've all played together, we're used to playing with each other, having to wax on, wax off with each other. So yeah, it's good to play with all our mates, and obviously the older boys, they're leading the way a little bit with Dan Roberts and Yenchy and Cheens, as you said, but yeah, heaps of fun playing with the young boys.
Congratulations, mate. I think we said today that's number 42 in a row for Hahndorf, so good luck, mate, for the finals in front of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, and congratulations to Benny Salt, an absolute gun young player. He's got a massive future. I think you said earlier in the call, played a bit earlier in the year, early in his career down in town. He's got some qualities that will take him into the Hahndorf A-grade side for many, many years to come. So, yeah, the sun's shining here at the moment. I think there's a little kiddies game coming out, but good luck to them. It'll be at Arctic Park, and but look, it's been another good day of Hills footy. Well done to the Magpies there. They just keep rolling on, and I'm not sure that there's too many things that can stop them apart from maybe a train, but that's about it, because they've got another premiership right in the cusp of their hands. They just got to keep their standards up, which you can see today they did so well. So and Onka's tried hard, just didn't have enough quality to get that score on the board when they had the opportunity. So full credit to Matty Golding and his team, and the Hahndorf rolls on. So we'll cross back to you boys, and I'll cross the creek for the last time.
Good on you. Thanks very much. Good work once again down there by Shane Collins. Now, while Colo's been on, we've had the brains trust of the stats boys, and There you go, Jaden. Do your best stuff now. The lowest winning margin prior to this.
So that was the lowest winning margin by Hahndorf since the grand final, right? So 24 was 24 points in the grand final, right? And then before that,
Wow, he's got it.
and then before that, it was actually round 14 against Onkas, 71 to 58. It was 13 points. So
3 times against Onkas. Is that right?
sorry.
Is that right? The last 3 games against Onkas have been the lowest.
Yes, last 3
Scored.
games against
Okay,
Onkas
so,
have been
yeah.
the lowest margins by Hahndorf. So there's a stat there for you boys.
Wow, fantastic. Well done, Jaden. That
Sorry
is
for putting on your spot.
Oh, no,
but
that's right.
great.
Oh, sweet.
that is quality stuff. And well, we got there. Indy, any final stats you want to rack up?
So looking at the full-time stats of the 10 major stats we measured, Onkas lost all of them at full-time, but they weren't smashed for kicks or handballs. They only lost those stats by 8, and for the first half, they were actually dominant in those areas. They were getting more of the ball. They looked confident getting it out of the defense, and honestly, I don't think Hahndorf's forward line had a day out or anything, so I think the Onkas defense stood up as best it could, but there was just no forward line to compensate. With a little more firepower, that game would have been much closer at full time. But instead, what was 26 points only really should have been 6 points, and potentially the other way around for Onkas. They were winning the centre clearances early, but in the second half, they conceded 5 of the 6 centre clearances that Hahndorf got for the game. So that was also really disappointing, but it was the tackling pressure that also stopped Onkas in the second half. They got lazier in the midfield because Hahndorf got what I believe to be 41 and 35 tackles respectively in the third and fourth quarter, and that just absolutely smashed the Dogs from getting easy centre clearances or stoppage clearances. They were stopped dead in their tracks and they didn't know how to respond, and they couldn't rely on their spine players to get the job done. So really, it was a good effort for the first half. I liked what I saw in that first half, but it's a losing result, and unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. But quickly, if we're looking at jumpers and numbers, John Greenslade got 19 disposals and Tim Webber got 22 for the game. So easily some of Onka's best players. Also, Webber with 7 tackles was applying the inside pressure. Greenslade with 2 marks as well, but they were a bit quieter in the second half as the Onka's team was. So really, I reckon they could have been in their 30s for disposals if the team managed to keep up its pace. But yeah, that's all for Onkas today. Just a little disappointing, but last week they showed they can show that resilience. So I have no doubt about their capacity after today. It's just they'll need to be more challenging if they come up against Hahndorf in the finals.
Cheers. Thanks for that, Indy. So yeah, just rounding out Hahndorf stats. So yeah, 50 inside 50s. They had a percentage or conversions of 19, percentage of 38%. So in this split, you sort of expect that. They had 124 tackles in total, 50 hitouts, 148 kicks, 89 handballs, and 47 marks, rounding out 237 disposals in total, and 6 centre clearances as well. So yeah, and Sam Hayden had 10 tackles for the day. He was really good. His tackle pressure was really good inside 50, especially in the third quarter. He was really good as well. And yeah, he had 6 handballs in that second half, so he was very good. I got some record stats here for you boys. So it's the lowest score by Onkas against Hahndorf since 2010, and it's Hahndorf's second lowest score against Onkas since 2010. Previously it was 41, so they just beat that one, and the next one is 67. So that's their second lowest score as well, and it's the lowest ever aggregate score since 2010 between these sides. So there's a stat for you as well, and yeah, it's obviously Hahndorf's lowest score for the year as well, and they scored a total of 45 points, and their last loss against Mount Barker, they scored 44 points. So there's a comparing stat for you there, boys. So yes, back to you.
Good on you. Thank you very much to Jaden J. Hill and Indy, the toe cutter Rogers, for their input throughout this afternoon. And I don't know if you heard that one, Shane. The last in this run, the last 3 games against Onkas have all produced the lowest winning margin for Hahndorf during their run. So it just shows you Onkas around the mark.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the chockies, but plenty to be happy about, I know, if you can.
It's sort of a great result, but it breaks your heart, doesn't it? Because you feel like you're so close to them, but you're so far.
Now, I'll tell you what, you'll be happy with as a great result, because you picked this during the week on Hills Footy Unplugged. Meadows 7-10 have defeated Gumaraka, sorry,
over.
7-5.
Well
Five
done to the
to
Bulldogs.
the doggies.
That's a fantastic result. I'm so glad Sportsbet gave me $4.50 for Meadows, and I've unloaded on there and cleaned up there, so that's beautiful. Now, well done to the Bulldogs. We've talked them up all year, haven't we, about the changes they've made off-field and what they've implemented at their club, and it's starting to happen on-field for them. So, well done. That's a great result. It's a bit of spice in their competition.
Indeed, it does. And speaking of spice, great for Benny Salt to give us his time for a bit of a chat after. Magnificent segue you just set me out there, Colo. But yeah, and as you said, a fine sportsman and a fine young man, and spoke very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you can just, you know, as much as a lot of people in the competition are annoyed at him, you've just got to be
Sorry, we've got live now. It's gone back the other way. 50. Sportsbet.
Hopefully they paid out
take the money and go while you can. Gumaraka 53, Meadows 52. Gold is we're live.
Oh, you're about 21 minutes.
It's live now, so
just wait on giving out.
So just wait. So keep your
I'll just
keep the ticket, Shane.
I'll continue on with
That's
my
right
comments.
away.
But look, the Hahndorf Footy Club, full credit to them. They are professional in all their ways, and you know, we can sit back. We're only talking the other night. I was talking to a few of the old players I used to play with at Onkas about how much work Matthew Golding does as a coach. I mean, it'd be so easy just to turn up here, training nights and games, and just let them do their thing.
Go through the motions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But as a coach, no one works harder than him. And the background work and the research he does on opposition and the players' information, full credit to him and full credit to him. He does a fantastic job. He really invests in his players, and you know, the Hahndorf juggernaut is just going to continue rolling while people like him are leading them. And you know, those young kids that we spoke about, they're just very good players. And yeah, it's 42, and who knows where it'll end.
Well, I can tell you one thing we have got right, and Goldie will be happy here. Kangarilla 97 points have defeated your other, your residential side, Goldie 30, so 67-point win to Kangas.
The caravan might get burnt down tonight on the hill there, Goldie.
They're going places.
120-kilometre winds during the week. Oh, yeah.
Don't you love it, the caravan when it's blowing like that?
It's all part of it.
And this is
Did you sleep? Surely you didn't sleep.
No, it's like being back in the cot.
this
Surely you looked outside and thought, whereabouts on the oval am I going to land?
This is official. So
this is official.
Do I collect? Did I collect?
No. This is official. What I'm going to say, this is official.
2 points the margin.
We thought it might have to do with Onkas, the repercussions, but Mount
lofty.
Barker,
Yeah.
6-3 have defeated Nan. It's 3-11.
Ooh.
So as we were talking before about
What was
percentage,
it, 6-3 to 3-11?
6-3 to 3-11. Yes.
Wouldn't make the percentage change
No.
much, but it would bring Mount Barker equal to Onka Valley on points.
On points. So
Onka's got Mount Lofty, Mount Barker got Blackwood next week. So whoever wins will sew up that double chance.
which could be so important. So here, Hahndorf 5-15 have defeated the Dogs 2-6. We just run through the goal kickers and all single digits this week for Hahndorf. Jarrett Mail, Parker Bowles, Salt, Henkin and Nycamp, and for Onkas, Sinnott in the first term and Cowling in the last quarter. So bookends and in between. Not much, she cried, but as I said, the scoreline probably doesn't reflect. Just in quick wrap up, very good. Well, Onkas be happy. You don't get the points,
look,
but
effort was okay. But you know, effort doesn't get you scoreboard pressure. You got to be. But it's been Onkas. To be honest, it's a problem for the footy club. Jake Adcock going down's really hurt them. Their forward line, they just don't have the pressure, the targets, and you know they don't have the ability. Now, we talked earlier in the game about Riley Sinnott doing playing forward. That's not his natural being, but they've got to play in there because they don't have anyone else, So
given that, Shane, we know you might have some little bit of influence or inside knowledge there. The comeback, Adcock possibly.
Yeah, you would think Adcock will be back. I would think
Lockie.
Whether he plays next week.
Peter?
Whether he plays next week, I'm not sure. I would think Lockie might miss another week, but he'd be back first week of finals. So there's two forwards. DJ Lees is probably back next week. He's been missing as well.
Body around the go. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple of players like that that'll come back into the side. I'm just trying to see the list and trying to find out if there's anyone else I've missed there. But there's a few players to come back into the side, and a few of the young kids have probably had really good 6 to 8 weeks, but they're starting to struggle. Where I think Hahndorf, obviously Daniel Roberts come off today, but I'm not sure who else is not playing for them at the moment. It's it's a fairly full side, but obviously Bruce Kane's gone for the year. Tom Jeffries is gone for the year out of the Onka side. Steve Tanner, he hasn't played. He's gone for the year.
I did notice on the Sporting Pulse this morning with the sides were listed that Brucey Kane was actually listed, but I thought the giveaway might have been the fact you were interviewing him on crutches last week on the Call of the Wild.
Surely that's a keying error. But he was no chance. So but look, they're in and around the mark, Onkers. I think we right back at our first show this start of the year, we said who's going to play Hahndorf in the grand final. That question's still to remain, and Onkers are putting their hand up to maybe be that side, but they've got a couple more bridges to get over yet, and the first one will be beating Mount Lofty next week. And Mount Lofty have been playing good footy in recent times, so that's going to be a cracking game. I wonder what their oval's like after today. They've done some fantastic improvements there in the last few years, and playing there today with these conditions, you just hope that for them as well, for their footy club, that it's held up really well.
Well, we can guarantee it won't be like it was 3 years ago.
Oh, it used to be great, rolling down the creek in the middle and just kick the ball to the middle and let the creek take it down to the forward 50.
Kick with the tide, Shane.
Yeah, kick with the tide.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fantastic. All right, well, that just about does us here on the Call of the Wild. As we said, Hahndorf getting the chocolates, 5-15 to 2-6, so win number 42 on the trot. So just about to overtake Cummins Ramblers, I think, in about the 4th spot on the all-time list. So, they just march on and on. But there were passages today where they definitely put under pressure, so they didn't have things all their own way, given the conditions and the pressure that Onkas brought to the table. So we will be seeing you next week from Loberthorpe Oval. Loberthorpe taking on Nairn. We just want to thank big thank you to Johnny Roberts, who joined us pre-match. It was great to have a chat. One of the greats, all-Australian, star goal kicker, because premiership player. So it was great to get his insight on the game. Once again, thanks to Matt the roadie, who was up at the crack of dawn to get the Dream Maker in position here. Also to, obviously, the Dartfish boys, Dallas and Flynn, for their great work. Thank you to you, Colo, for your good work. I know you had to do it tough in here today inside, but you managed to get through.
I can't believe you didn't turn the heater on for me. I'm spewing.
And also to Dallas and, to Indy and Jaden for their work, and also the Goldie. So that wraps us up here. And don't forget Hills Footy Unplugged during the week. Looking very much forward to Colo umpire Peter Humphrey. So perhaps we can get some definitions and interpretations, so to speak.
Yeah, it's a very challenging job umpiring, as we know, but it's funny. Today I was actually talking to Paul Tanner this morning, and we actually, and he's a senior coach in his 3rd year of A-grade footy. He doesn't know some of the rules, whether they're rules in the HFL. I asked about third man up at ruck stoppage. He didn't know if that was a rule in this competition. Hitting a player under the knees. He didn't know if that's a rule in this competition.
Okay.
It's a sad state of affairs for our game that senior coaches don't know the rules. And our poor umpires, they'd watch AFL on a Friday night or a Saturday night. You know, they might watch football from other leagues or whatever. It's umpired different everywhere, and then we expect them to come out and do a consistent job. The game's sort of lost the plot a little bit, I think, and it needs to be brought back to a simple game, umpired the same, and the rules the same wherever you play. You know, and we even look at our SANFL in Adelaide, don't we? And the rules are different there. You know?
Absolutely.
It's madness. So very, very tough job they do. And I know it's easy to slag them, and we all do, but it would be a tough job with the interpretation of the rules of our game.
Certainly spot on there, Shane, as always, and certainly spot on with the madness, and of course plenty of madness here on the Call of the Wild. That will continue during the week on Hills Footy Unplugged. Check your local guide, and as I said, we'll catch you next week here on Call of the Wild from Loberthorpe Oval. So until then, keep on chasing your goals. This is Pistols on behalf of all the team, wishing you all the best for the rest of the week. Catch you next time.